Hello and welcome to the Computer Game Show. My name's David Turner. I'm here with James Farley,
Hey.
Matt Murray,
Hello?
and Sean Bell.
Hello.
It's my best friends, and we're talking about video games.
It's
this
my
week.
best friend, episode title. Earliest one possible. It's my best friend.
Settle
Write
down.
that down.
We've got lots of video games to talk about this week, haven't we? There's been some game releases, and we're
I'm
very
sick.
excited.
I'm
many.
sick of it. I'm
Too
sick of
many.
it already.
We're not going to
That's-
talk about Doom Eternal, are we?
We've got some messages about it.
Okay.
Some stuff in the mailbag.
Yes.
Great.
But
the PO
first
box.
of all, we would like to thank our Patreon producers for this month. James.
So we'd like to thank Aaron Patrick, the QuickBooks chap, Simon Nelson, Moomin Biscuit, Trans Rights and Human Rights, Dave Ernsberger, Colin Brown, Gasman, Rocketman76, Smooth Monkey, Richard Sawyer, John Tempelli, Jackie Sniper, Sam Higton, Tom S, Stan, Philip with an F, Cutty, Steve Lee, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Man, Tri-States, Oods. That's gone too far. That's at that point, it's gone too far. I was doing quite well there until you started moving them around. That was much worse.
Mate, sorry. So if you didn't listen last week, when I was trying to read these out, for some reason James was mucking around with the Google
I just
Doc, where
highlighted
his
a couple
little
of
cursor
people,
was
that's it.
highlighting everywhere,
Yeah.
and really putting me off. And we took that because you were doing too well, and I was a bit worried by how well this was going until I think it was Matt started completely.
Yeah, you just moved it all around.
Can everyone like Control Z so it's back in one piece?
Yeah. Where did you get to?
I got to Tri-State, and then
Right. Okay.
yeah,
I think it's back to normal now.
No, because number 10 is not in
Oh,
one
yeah, there is.
piece.
Oh yeah, Johnny Sniper. Oh, there we go.
there you go.
Right. Okay. Go on.
Okay, so Tri-State, Oods, and James Argentinius, thank you very much for supporting us. We really appreciate it. Over to you, David.
You can support us by going to patreon.com/TCGS. We're doing our bonus show this week. Hopefully, it's not confirmed yet, so I don't want to, but hopefully we will have the tattoo artist that will be tattooing either Matt or James, depending on how good a Star Wars game is. I still can't quite wrap my head around that one. But there are various different tiers there. We really do appreciate your support. It keeps us going. It keeps us podcasting. Patreon.com/TCGS if you would like to thank us for all our hard work. Yeah, you get a little cheeky bonus show to say, you're welcome. Feedback to last week's show, Matt.
Yes, we're going to start with some more Doom Eternal feedback from Kurt Lewin. I have more Doom Eternal feedback. Last week you mentioned how maybe it's the PC players who are the ones who loved Eternal. Well, I'm someone who started on PC but found the keyboard controls too overwhelming given how many inputs there are in that game for the different mods, weapons, ammo types, etc. and ended up switching to an Xbox controller. I did play Doom 2016 on PlayStation though, so maybe there was some muscle memory at play, but even so, I ended up loving Eternal too. That was the Eternal feedback, actually. It's gone to something else. On a different... anything on that?
Kurt, I will say you are going to get tons of people going, no, actually, the keyboard and mouse controls weren't over better, actually. So enjoy that next
It's
week.
the best way to play the game. And playing with the controller is completely the wrong way.
You might think that keyboard and mouse was built for typing in words or desktop applications. It was for clicking on heads.
Yeah.
That's right. That's what this was.
I totally thought you were going to say something else then. Go on, Matt.
Kurt continues. On a different note, I'd like to thank Sean for bringing I should have looked this up first.
Here we go.
Kunitsu-Gami.
Come on, Matt. You got this, mate. I
Kunitsu-Gami,
believe in
thank you. Kunitsu-Gami to my attention as I've been loving it. It's not the kind of thing I'd usually play, but his words maybe gave it a try as I've been in a gaming slump recently, and it was just what the doctor ordered. Also, if you're ever looking for another park management game, Sean, I'd highly recommend Parkitect, which is on PC, but a couple of weeks ago it was released on consoles too. It's a fantastic theme park game that's more like the old Roller Coaster Tycoon games than Planet Coaster is. Cheers. from Kurt. I was already on to the next word. I was like, cheer. Okay, don't need the yes. No, you do need yes for cheers, turns
That
out.
is also a possible title for the show. If you could write that down.
What
Cheers.
Yeah, no, I'll have a look at Parkitects because it's one of those genres that I do whenever I do fall back into it. I'm like, oh, I fucking love these, but I don't really keep up with it. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, thank you.
Ryan Cobain
Alright.
has messaged, Dear TCGS, feedback for episode 410, Call Me Torek. Excellent episode. Sean was there, Matt was there, Dave was there, but irritated, and the good doctor was back for another can't miss appearance, although James does seem to miss a few appearances now and then, what with life and stuff. Keep up the brilliant must listen content week in, week out. P.S. Can we limit the Sonic chat to once every 3 to 6 months? I think it's kind of like King Trials, just about bearable on his own, but throwing all the added bullshit extra characters and a recipe for disaster and a bloated game/family. Keep it natural, from Ryan Cobain.
Cheers, Ryan. We're going to talk about Sonic again today. Am I right?
Absolutely. We're definitely going to be going back down that hole. But yeah.
All right.
That's another episode title.
I'd love to
Absolutely
know.
firing them out today.
I'd love to know what it is about Sonic. Because I do watch like early footage of those guys, and when I was watching footage of Sonic Superstars or whatever, when you were talking about it, I was like, oh man, I could totally do this. I could totally get into this. And I know that if I bought it, I'd be running into walls and going, fuck this again. Do you know what I mean? Like it's it's a strange one.
It's a bad platformer. You know,
It does feel like we've been chasing the high since
Yeah.
Sonic 1. Like ever since we've been like, how do we get back to that moment of, oh my god, he goes upside down. Mario can't go upside down.
Yeah.
Yeah, miss those days. All right.
SMW has messaged. I thought we'd get more feedback on this, but or maybe Sean clip those out. But here's SMW. Just had my mind blown. All my life, I've also believed Fisherman's Friend was just one sweet inside the packaging. I didn't know it was a mint, and had assumed it had some kind of hard candy sweet that lasted for so long it was worth the price. Loving the show, guys. SMW.
See, I still don't understand this because the packet's quite big. So it's like, how would you put something that size in your mouth? Or did you think that you just...
Episode title?
In fairness, yes, it is episode title. Well done. Yeah, but like I never picked up a packet. Like I've no need to pick up a packet. So
Yeah, I've never investigated
never
it,
picked
just
up a
seen
packet.
it from a distance.
So I've never investigated it and felt it and gone, oh, that's a big mint. Like that's not been the case. I've just looked at it and gone, that's weird that they do that.
Yeah, it's not like you were endorsing it. It's just
Well, answer me this then, James.
Go on.
Why would you have a tin of mints and then put it in a wrapper? Why would you put the tin in a wrapper? That's weird,
Tin in
isn't
a
it?
wrapper? What do you mean?
What?
no, I think
What do
it's
you
tin or a wrapper, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not one or the other.
Some are in like a paper thing,
Yeah.
and some are in.
Wait,
get like
that's
a-
the one I'm talking about. So
Yeah,
what's
yeah,
in
yeah.
the paper thing?
It's just
Same,
loads
it's
of
just
little
different
ones.
packaging.
Yeah.
It's
Okay,
loads of, yeah, but they
it's
sit
not
in
even
the
loads of
middle,
little ones.
don't
It's
they?
just loads of normal sized ones, just in a.
Oh, people are saying
packet.
it's a tin, or the paper ones are the refills for the
Yeah,
tin.
yeah.
Right,
for the pen,
okay.
yeah.
If you're a hardcore Fisherman's Friend, you go,
Yeah.
tin, and then just...
Well,
More
that's the
environmentally friendly.
that's the
Yeah.
other thing that I've been thinking about this week with Fisherman's. Well, imagine if you didn't hear this bit of the show last week. That was the other thing that I was thinking about. I think I thought it was one because it's called Fisherman's Friend, and
Singular.
it was just like, oh, it's my
Yeah.
friend. It's just
Yeah.
this one little.
One
If
little
it was
mint.
called Fisherman's Friends, then I might go. There's more than one in that little wrapper there. Right. Okay. When you said it comes in a tin, I thought you meant that it was the the white packaging. It's
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
Yes.
paper wrapper.
I think we need to move on.
I thought the tin was in that.
You thought tin was in the pack? Okay.
I
I
thought
thought
there was
the tin
two
was-
layers of like packaging here.
Well, yeah, that's why. I
all
found
that
it
just
so
for one
fucking
mint?
Weird. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
not seen the tins. I've only seen the
Almost
white
doesn't make
wrapper
sense,
ones.
does it?
Nah.
Should we move on?
Yes, please.
Woodchuck Amadeus Teaspoon Fondle has messaged. Just a quick one.
Okay,
Say
like
thanks, Sean, for recommending the dinosaur game. It was already pre-PS Plus into my PS5, and it was exactly what I didn't know I needed. Hashtag perfect for Portal, by the way. I spent a good 4 hours straight playing it tonight. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, fine. No, it's just because
Matt,
normally you
what's
say
going
like...
on tonight? Matt,
Normally
what's
you
going on
say,
tonight?
would you not
This
say
is-
like
your reading is worse than
4
normal.
hours
What's happening?
playing it straight? Yeah, I guess it is for... I spent a good 4 hours
No,
straight
no,
playing
I
it.
spent
Straight.
4 hours straight playing it
Playing it.
tonight.
Yeah,
That
that's
makes
good.
total sense.
I
mate.
would have moved the sentence around just a bit.
What's
You know,
happened?
you got think
What's
of
going
us.
on?
Think of us.
What's going on tonight?
Nothing.
Let's delve into the
rattled.
world of Matt Murray.
Oh,
What's
shall
going
we?
on, mate?
Oh, let's. What should we get into? There's loads to get into actually.
Did you get enough sleep last night?
Yeah. I
Are
slept
you
actually quite well
pissed?
recently. No, these
When
are
did you start
these are
drinking?
these are 0% Guinnesses.
Okay,
No.
all right.
So yeah,
I'll
that's what I
allow
do on
that.
Mondays. Should we move on? I spent a good 4 hours straight playing it tonight. Stayed up far too late, and now I'm going to be retired for my daughter's 7th birthday party tomorrow. Oh God, wish me luck. Love from Woodchuck.
Just move it.
Oh, nice one.
The
Just
birthday.
move the birthday. It's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
late now,
but
but-
I didn't realize it had been on PS Plus. There's a few
Just
people in the
leave
Discord
it.
are like, "Oh yeah, apparently I own this. Might try it now." So yeah, it's nice.
I'm just thinking out. Just remind you saying that, James, has just reminded me how you played God with your children's lives.
It's
wild, man.
it is terrible, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank
it
you
is,
for
yeah.
finally admitting it.
Yeah. But no, I mean
Next.
that's the time when she was 2. It didn't matter. But yeah, go on.
Right, okay, so you admitted it and then you rolled back straight
No,
away.
it's
That
less,
is-
no, it's not. It's less good nowadays. But when she was 2, it didn't matter.
Does she know about it?
She won't remember.
No, but does she know about it?
No, I don't think so. Actually, I don't remember
Man,
ever
we
discussing
need to
it
do a
with her.
pod where you tell her.
Yeah, that'd be great.
She won't remember. It's fine.
Okay.
You can't accuse in the same line.
Next.
Phil, episode 225, 28th of October. It says 2002. I'm going to say probably.
Still 202.
That's a long old time ago.
Year 202,
Ish.
baby.
David referring to Xbox Fire Stick. They want to get on that. Why is wrong in my brain tonight? I'll start again. David referring to Xbox Fire Stick. They want to get on that. For normal
Matt,
prediction.
it's not that hard. That's not hard to read that bit.
I read it. I was like, well, that can't be right.
David referring to Xbox.
I've read
Fire
it twice.
Stick.
You've had a run up.
Yeah, because
Right,
Oh,
I'll
it's gonna be
finish.
one of those weeks.
David, it's very hot actually as well. David referring
You
to
know those
Xbox.
people that slag us off all
oh.
the time, like those people that post on forums about how they hate us and that.
Yeah.
And it's usually
Do
when
they?
they talk
That
about
thing?
other podcasts.
And how?
Yeah,
This is the worst.
that's
This is the
thing.
worst bit of the show. Why don't we just talk about games? Yeah, that. all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. go- Oh, I
Just
skipped
people,
the
is this people on
first-
Roll
yeah,
or is this somewhere else?
they're part of it. Yeah.
No, I love them guys.
Yeah. But it's times like this when I go, they're right.
I mean, I think it's Phil's fault, but we'll continue. David referring to Xbox Fire Stick. They want to get on that. Phenomenal prediction once again.
There you go. Yeah, I was. I
Hold
went
it.
straight to the fire stick. That's good. Thanks, Phil, for highlighting how brilliant I am at
Thanks,
predictions.
Phil.
James,
Okay,
what are
Harry-
you doing?
Scratching my back.
He's got
Okay.
a backstrap.
He's got a
No,
little
no,
back
it's, I'm
scratcher.
using. I'm using a bottle opener.
Okay.
I wasn't
Fucking
expecting
hell.
that.
Should
What
we
a
just call
weird
it off
show.
tonight?
You are.
Yeah, seriously, I'm
asked.
close to walking out.
You asked, so I had to give the instruction.
Right. I'm going to carry on. Harry Problems has messaged everyone. Harry Problems. That's Harry Problems.
Harrison problems.
Feedback. I've been following the Medieval Gate saga closely, and I believe the origins of the incorrect pronunciation dates back to episode 405, telling Gibson. When discussing the Microsoft announcement of a new Doom game at 1 hour, 17 minutes, 15 seconds, Sean Bell is heard calling it Medieval Doom. A subsequent use can be heard in episodes 407, Normal Time, when Sean Bell describes Blade and Sorcery as having medieval sword and sorcery combat. The first recorded use by Matt Murray is found in episode 408. It's a technology which is following episode when discussing Doom the Dark Ages once more. The mispronunciation is called... Fuck, kill me now. The mispronunciation is called out by David Turners, who turns to perpetual offender Sean Bell for verification. Sean feigns ignorance, but later goes on to confirm it is written medieval and would suggest that that's the correct pronunciation. It's worth noting that Dr. James Farley could have cleared up the incident, but he was too busy not fucking turning up. In episode 409, aka the piano episode, James's feedback addresses the issue and calls out Matt for his pronunciation. guilty, cowardly, stab your best mate in the back bell suggests it's not something you'd really pull someone up over before refusing to take any accountability once again. Fast forward 1 week later to episode 410, and Brad writes in attempting to clear up the mess, only for Turners to jump on his back about how it's all because Matt wishes he was American. Hope this clears things up. Having problems.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, thank you. Harry Problems solves it once again.
Excuse me.
Harry Problems, could you be our official correspondent for past arguments and discretions, please?
I mean,
because
like,
that
hearing
was
all that,
wonderful.
I feel like I'm supposed to apologise, but I'm not entirely sure what for.
Just
I feel
before you
bad
do
for
that, there is
I might
next
not
bit.
yet.
There's next bit of feedback. I mean, we are celebrating Harry Problems, rightly so. But Terry Puma has also messaged us. That's Terry Puma. Sean said medieval on 2 of the previous episodes before Matt said it. He'll have picked it up from him.
I mean,
Short and to the point,
I'm
Terry
just saying,
Puma.
If I was
Terry
Matt,
went straight there, didn't
I love that.
No fucking around
Yeah.
with Terry.
if I was Matt, I'd be a little bit offended at this assertion that you just absorb anything you hear and repeat it without questioning it. I think it's a bit-
I do trust you
I'm
too
also-
much. So if Sean said it, it
I'm
must be
also
right.
ashamed of myself because it makes me feel like I go, well, I'm not sure, must be right. Oh no, I can't challenge Sean on how to say things. And then Matt says it, and I'm like, hey, hold on a minute, hold on a
Shut
minute,
up.
boy. Have a word with yourself, boy.
Thank you, Terry Puma and Harry Problems for the correspondence. Oh, we've got some
What
great
a-
names
what a-
this week.
What a duo that could be. Harry Problems and Terry Puma.
And the next
Fighting
one,
crime.
got a message from European Bob. I think this is European Bob. I think the constant dunking on James's lack of attendance on the show is a bit unfair. Sometimes it's refreshing to hear a fresh take on something that's happened since James's last appearance on TCGS. With that in mind, I'm interested in hearing what James thinks of Still Wakes the Deep, Sony entering the hardware market with something called the PlayStation, and Taito's cultural phenomenon calling up space invaders.
Great consoles
yeah, he's
Great consoles
and stuff.
Great consoles.
Great
Great
consoles.
consoles.
and
I
stuff.
mean,
yeah.
you started off by defending him, European Bob. We had a couple of messages on the other side of the fence, but we've decided not to include them. One of them was very angry at James.
For which I'm grateful that you didn't include it, obviously. You know,
Shame, really. but Yeah.
Good. All right.
Terry
Oh, no,
Tiny
we did
Whisk.
include it. I'm looking down further in the.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah. Oh, God.
Oh,
include you.
fuck.
To be fair, yeah, there's been stuff before where I swore I had deleted it, and then it turned out I hadn't. So yeah.
Okay.
Terry Tiny Whisk has messaged, hello, no idea what David is on about with people only liking Doom Eternal or PC. This should have been earlier up, but whatever.
Why would you
Oh,
group
yeah.
these
I
together?
I don't
All
okay.
right. Do it
Yeah.
when I'm supposed to be working my actual job.
No, I'm learning. I'm learning here that I need to stand up to you more, Sean. That's what I've learned. The old medieval thing. I
I
need
would
to
group
stand
these
up to you
questions
more.
together, but Sean knows what he's doing, man.
Yeah.
Sean,
He's got a
group
plan.
them together.
He's
Also,
weaving a
this is
narrative.
Matt's- Well, I still find it weird that it's Matt's segment of the show and he just rocks up and reads it.
Yeah,
as
but
it's
I
written.
assign it to Sean. I delegated it to Sean.
You delegate. He forgot the word delegate for a moment. There.
Assigned, delegated, whatever. Tomato, potato. Terry Tiny Whisk. Hello, no idea what David is on about with people only liking Doom Eternal on PC. I play it on Xbox with the Xbox wireless controller, textured triggers and bumpers, hybrid D-pad, button mapping, Bluetooth technology. That's the description of the controller. And absolutely love the game and can't relate to any of the issues raised on the pod. Skill issue, I guess. Farewell.
Oh,
You
oh,
fucked
that
him there,
hurts. Terry, that is
Skill issue, and then you close the door with the farewell.
know.
David cannot
God,
come
that
back from that.
He's not even going to listen to this.
Yeah. Game over.
Has anyone got any after sun?
Oh, because there's been a nasty burn on
Shall I
on
just
his wrist.
1 week? Shall I just lie and just say that I've played Doom Eternal. I loved it. It was fantastic.
I'd
now
rather you go
you've
the
had
other
a
way.
balanced approach to the game.
I'd
on
rather
the
you
show.
lie the other way.
Can we
Double down.
never talk about the game ever again?
I
We're
love
going to get a
it.
lot of feedback now, James,
It's
about
just going
that.
to keep
so,
going. Yeah.
Yeah, we need to keep this
It
going.
wasn't very good.
Mate, all right, mate, but listen.
But
you
it
spent
was like it
half
was
of the-
though. It got enough positive reviews. It's just it is quite divisive.
You spent half of your time on this show talking about a game called Juiced. Like, you cannot
That's
tell
not
us to stop
true.
talking about. Yeah, it is true, isn't
I
it?
talked about it
You're
once or
obsessed with it.
twice, and I just
Once
mentioned the
or
marketing
An episode.
campaign.
You were like, look,
One of the
even the
developers turned up
advertising
at live
is
show
amazing.
and-
Yeah, you met an actual developer, James. So don't be
I
complaining.
just talked about the marketing campaign and how it was a little bit dated.
You live streamed it.
That's true. I
Yeah,
did do
went
that,
to
yeah.
we're on Chris
Chris
O'Regan's house.
Live streamed it from Chris O'Regan's house.
We can't get you to turn up on a fucking call once a week.
Yeah.
It's because you're not offering anything anywhere near as good as Juiced. That's why.
Hundreds of thousands
Yeah.
of pounds.
Yeah. A salary.
Still not enough. Not
Fame.
reduced.
Yeah. Okay. Mark has messaged. Hey guys, just a quick answer to your question about why developers don't get named in game credits. I used to work in the industry and sometimes it just comes down to odd pettiness. If you leave a project, you don't get credited because they don't want to credit you because you didn't finish the game. Some people do get credited despite starting late on a project and doing very little, or maybe didn't even touch the game at all, but were just part of the studio at the time the game got released. Sometimes credits are done before a game is complete and you didn't make the cut. I know developers, including myself, who had their names removed after game updates. The thinking was that they only wanted to credit those currently working on a title as it continued to evolve. Another reason is to stop credits having thousands upon thousands of names, including people that haven't touched the game in years. It's sad and disheartening to not be credited or to have your credit removed, especially when you see all these names from the publishing side who may or may not have ever done any work on the game. Anyways, that's just one insight, and I'm sure there are lots of other reasons, but in my experience, it's just our pettiness coming from up top for some reason. Keep up the good work, lads. Make sure you don't remove James's credit just because he hasn't been on the show for a couple of weeks. From Mark.
It's really shit, isn't it?
It is really shit, especially considering that I've been on the credits of Connectimals, and to think that some people
do?
got screwed over for the people that actually worked on that game. Yeah, I think it was. Were you on it, James? The Connectimals.
No,
credits? Or was it just
sadly
me and
not.
Michael?
It was just that. Yeah, it was you and Michael. I think we're on that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Adam Capone put my name
Right.
in the credits for Connectimals. I know it's it's not the point, Mark. But I mean, no, everyone skips them, right? So it's that.
Well, I was going to say, yeah, like so
Well, yeah,
Mark
but
mentions,
yeah.
and I'm sure this is something he's heard or witnessed or whatever. Yes, and another reason to stop the credits having thousands upon thousands of names, giving people haven't touched the game in years. But who's watching the credits as like a piece of entertainment?
Well,
Do you know what I mean? Like it's a
exactly, right.
document. It's a
Yeah,
you know,
it's a document. It's something that you can prove that you've worked on a game because
Yeah.
you're in the credits for that
Yeah,
game,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I'm joking when I say everyone skips it, but that's the whole point, right? Is that you can turn around and say, "Look, I worked on this game. I'm in the credit. I'm credited in this game," and it goes on your CV. And also, even if there are thousands of things, people put skip on it, and
Yeah.
you can access it from the menu. That's the best way of doing
Yeah.
it. And to think that there's that sort of pettiness going on, it's really fucking weird. That
Yeah,
really weird.
it is a joke.
Yeah.
We're going to end with Morgan Le Fay. Just a huge fucking big up to Sean for his incredible GTA 4 Warp Speed stream. It's been what I always wanted the speed of Dodgems to be, but I just end up going in circles or getting stuck between parked vehicles. I'm a fellow Sylvian head, and it made me proud to see him rocking our gang's colours. Praise our mother goddess and the TCGS gang.
love that.
Definitely
Thank
check out that stream on our YouTube channel. Sean playing GTA 4 with sped up cars. It's very, very, very funny. Sorry to go back one, but favorite credit sequence in a game? Have you got
Ooh.
one? Because I've got one. And that would
Oh, I'm
be
trying to
Here's Astrobot. We can shoot all the
Astrobot.
credits.
Astrobots. Well, you can't shoot them, can you? You punch them.
Oh, do you punch them? Oh, I thought you
Yeah,
did.
but then if you punch the gold letters, they all explode. Love that. Love it. James?
Do you know? I think probably Ocarina of Time. Actually, I remember
Well, with
coming.
where it just showed the
The way it showed like everybody that had been in the. I know it's like they always do that sort of stuff now, but at the time, like I'm thinking back to like 1998 or whenever it was. It's like it was just cool to have like this sort of like look back at all the characters and what they were up to
that
and all
was
that kind
cool.
of thing. It was great.
That was cool. Yeah, no, I agree. That was a good shout. Any more for any more?
God Hand. on the PS2.
What happened in the God Hand?
Just very funny song with all the characters doing like dancing in unison to it. It's really good. Very good fun.
Yeah. When you say song over credits, I instantly think of Portal, but
Oh yeah,
dickheads ruined that.
yeah, they did.
They tried to make it a thing, Sean, and
They
they
did.
wouldn't stop talking about it.
Told you I saw him
The
live.
cake-
No,
What, the cake?
Who?
Jonathan Coulton who did the song,
Oh, did you?
and it was just the audience was so obviously just full of people who were just there to hear "Still Alive." I mean, I
God.
wasn't really a fan. Like, it was a friend of mine was like already a Jonathan Coulton fan, and he wanted to go anyway.
Yeah.
And then and it was just obviously loads of nerds, just like, "Oh, cake is a lie."
Yeah, that's the bit that killed me. Like, because
Yeah.
that song is brilliant, and those credits
yeah.
are great, and it was
Yeah.
a perfect ending to that game.
Mhm.
But then going on forums, the cake is a lie. Shut up. Just
Yeah.
shut up. Done my nutting. Right, is that it for feedback?
Yes, go to tcgs.co/dear TCGS. Leave your feedback that I can't read.
Then I suppose it's time for the news, Mr. Farley.
Yeah, so the FTC have hit back at Microsoft after the whole Game Pass, being revised and all the changes there's been with the price increases and stuff. And they've said that the Game Pass tiers have been degraded. So here's the whole quote. They said, Microsoft price increases and product degradation, combined with Microsoft's reduced investments in output and product quality via employee layoffs, are the hallmark of a firm exercising market power post-merger. Microsoft promised that the acquisition would benefit consumers by making Call of Duty available on Microsoft's Game Pass on the day it released on console, with no price increase for the service based on the acquisition. So they're
I
sort
thought
of
they were against that idea when the merger was being talked about,
Who?
wasn't it? Oh no, they were worried about it being the FTC. They were worried about it being exclusive
only to Xbox.
on
Yeah,
Game. Right. Okay.
yeah, that was the thing. So.
Okay.
So that's the whole thing. So they're saying, look, we told you this was going to happen, that things would get worse if they did this, and that's kind of what happened. But Microsoft have said that's rubbish. Like that's not true. That's you're rewriting history here with what you're saying, and it's not what's happened at all. And they're sort of claiming they're shifting the goalposts because they're saying that actually the trial was all about access to Call of Duty on other platforms, not about how Microsoft are trying to run the service into the ground. It was about, like a different sort of aspect. And they said it's wrong to call this a degraded version of the discontinued Game Pass for console offering. That discontinued product did not offer multiplayer functionality, which had to be purchased separately for an additional $9.99 a month. While Game Pass Ultimate's price will increase from $16.99 to $19.99, the service will offer more value through many new games available day and date. And among them is the upcoming release of Call of Duty, which has never before been available on a subscription day and date. They like saying day and date.
You do, don't
Yeah.
So wait. Let me just try and get this straight. Consoles going.
Yes.
Xbox Game Pass for consoles going. That didn't include online multiplayer service.
Apparently not.
they? Is it not?
So then
Oh,
what?
Yeah, I thought it was Core that didn't. Okay,
No, Core
I mean,
did.
I
Core
thought, yeah,
did.
Core
For
did, but it only had
fuck's
like.
sake.
I thought Core did, but it only had like 20 games or something.
Yeah. Only had a very select
kill
amount
me.
of games.
Do you remember when the Activision purchase went through and we were like, "Oh, good, we can stop talking about all this."
The FTC.
I do think the FTC is wrong because I do think this would have happened whether they merged with Activision or not.
I think.
Like I think that to say that they've made this change, which they're right in saying that it is a degradation of the service that they've offered. Like they're right in saying that, right? But I think they're wrong in saying that this is because of the merger.
I mean, they're
it's not.
basically just saying, we told you so. And that, but then for different reasons, and Microsoft are saying, well, no, you're kind of right, but for different reasons. It's weird. And nothing's going to change from this anyway, because it's just
yeah,
them
it's
saying,
too late, FTC.
Yeah.
FTC must have brought like a Microsoft team and they're like twiddling their thumbs like, we're so bored. Oh, they've done what? Quick, get out of there! Like the second Microsoft does anything, this team are on it because they've got nothing else to do.
Yeah,
like
we told you this was gonna be
acquire
rubbish.
someone. We're bored.
Weird. This whole Game Pass change has been such a flop. Like it's been such a big mess. It's confusing. It sounds counterproductive for consumers and for Game Pass fans. It's such a shit thing to happen, and I can't see where Xbox are going in the future. I just can't see it. It's confusing me. Look, this tactic.
Well, I think they're trying to
what
go
they're aiming
back.
for.
That's what they're trying to do, aren't they?
I
To
think
sell
so.
games.
I guess to go back to
Selling
similar to
stuff.
Sony's model.
Yeah,
but
to actually selling games, which makes sense from a business point of view. It's just incredibly confusing.
It does, but then you need to build up your user base more, and you need to have banging exclusives that won't be available elsewhere, and that's not going to happen, is it?
Well, we can that kind of links to another story, which is not the next one, but I'm going to go to it straight away anyway.
Cool.
Which was it turns out that Microsoft's this guy who's from like Microsoft marketing. It's the marketing lead. His name is Flat. I can't remember his first name. As basically
Aaron Savage.
No, it's not. It's not Aaron Savage. But
Aaron's Flat.
Yeah,
His name is Flat.
FLATT.
Is
Anyway,
it Cliff?
Episode
Move on.
title, Matt. His name is Flat. Is
Yeah.
a very good episode title.
So this is all connected with the whole idea of marketing of Xbox, and basically, so there's been all these rumors saying that Microsoft is like effectively abandoning like marketing Xbox in Europe and in some other regions. And there was this interview with him, and he said that they were being like Xbox was being dramatically outspent by PlayStation. And he said like Xbox sales in Europe in particular have been in decline for some years, and because PlayStation is so dominant in the region. And he says this is what he said: they're blessed with marketing funds that we're just not able to enjoy, but that's totally fine. We adopt what I would call a more fiscally responsible approach to media investments. We're not blessed with huge media budgets, so we have to be quite scrappy, really, and quite tenacious for funds that would probably go somewhere else.
Sorry, a Microsoft employee is saying this about
Yes.
Microsoft.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I mean, this is what is so weird about what's going on at the moment with all of this. It's really strange, like really, really odd. And like, saying that like, oh, so we haven't got any money is like a bit. It's just
I guess they think
odd.
like, why throw like good money after bad? Like, is loads of money really going to turn the tides for them? But
It's Michael Flat, by the way. Yeah, he's the
Michael Flats.
EMEA marketing lead for Xbox.
Look, it's clear that the Microsoft part of that business has been told you need to cut back spending, and you need to their budget has dramatically shrunk. I think that explains a lot of the closures. That explains a lot of the price changes to Game Pass, and this explains also removing marketing from certain regions. I don't want to say it, but I think Xbox might soon be done as a competitor to Sony. I think they might be done.
I don't know. I mean, maybe outside of America, possibly, but in America they're still pretty strong. Yeah, like they're still.
But how much is that going to hold down the whole business? Like, it's not you're competing for exclusives and this, that, and the other against Sony, that's a worldwide business that's selling all over the globe, and you're just selling in America. I don't see it.
This whole thing I find like just baffling anyway. I mean, in terms of like how much money these companies have, Microsoft are way out in front of Sony.
Of
like, in
course,
terms
yeah,
of how much cash they got. But why?
But Xbox are owned by Microsoft, who have a set budget for that department, and clearly they're sick of it just going down the drain. So they've pulled that budget back. That's the only.
But maybe don't acquire Activision Blizzard and instead spend money on marketing to try and like get a foothold.
That would only make sense going through all of that if you're then going to become a publisher, because they're going to make a shitload of money from
computers.
publishing that. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? It's wild, and I say this as an Xbox fan. You know, I've always loved Xbox. I've built my library up on Xbox. It's where I play my multiplayer games. I think their multiplayer system is
It's got an
way
Xbox
better
mug,
than Sony's.
Xbox pajamas, Xbox duvet.
Xbox House.
All right,
I'm moving into that soon.
Can't
Can't wait for that. And I just look at this and just go, fucking hell, man, what's going to happen next? Because I can't see anything other than them stepping back completely.
See, I don't think.
Weird.
I think that like the people that were like people like Phil Spencer and stuff like that. I think that they're no longer really calling the shots with all of this. I think it's
Oh,
the people higher
definitely
up
not.
that are
No,
then-
yeah. I'm that whole team that they were forming at various showcases seems to be disbanded at this point, doesn't it?
Well, no. I mean, the team's still there. It's just I think as soon as Microsoft spends 70 billion, then then the Microsoft heads of can take a bit more notice, and the little console stuff on the side. Suddenly, if they're spending 70 billion of Microsoft's money, then it's probably just no. Actually, maybe don't be spending all that extra money now.
Obviously, the team's still there, but do you remember the days where we always used to be excited to hear from Phil?
Well,
Yeah.
And now it's like, I don't buy a word of it now, pal. Sorry.
Yeah.
But there's been some good news that's come from Microsoft adjacent studios or the ones that they own, because Bethesda has become the first Microsoft studio to fully unionize. And this has been like recognized by Microsoft. It's with the Communication Workers of America, and it was formed after it was 241 developers signed the like union authorization card or said that they wanted to, via the online portal. And I mean, this was from somebody like attached to this. They said, "We are so excited to announce our union at Bethesda Game Studio and join the movement sweeping across the video game industry." That was Mandy Parker. She said, "It is clear that every worker can benefit from bringing democracy into the workplace and securing a protected voice on the job. We're thrilled to get down to brass tacks and win a fair contract, proving that our unity is a source of real power to positively shape our working conditions, our lives, and the company as a whole." So next, they just need to negotiate terms with Microsoft. That's the next thing. But this is really good news.
Yeah,
I think.
that little hurdle.
You do wonder.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's-
I don't know how long it takes something like this to get in motion and reach this point. You do wonder if this is a reaction to the closures a few months ago and everyone just being like, well, shit, nobody's safe. Like, we need to unionize or else
Oh yeah.
who knows who's next.
No, it's not
But
just
maybe
the
this was in the
closures-
works
It's
before
not
that.
just the closures within Microsoft either, is it?
Well, no.
It's across
Yeah.
the fucking tech world. And the more of this that happens, the better. So that's pretty positive news.
Yeah. Less positive news, well, depending on what you think about it. The Halo TV series has been cancelled after 2 seasons.
I can't imagine anyone actually. I've not heard that anyone that's watched it.
I
No,
watched the first couple
I
of
didn't know there was a
episodes.
second season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched the first
Yeah,
couple
I
of
saw
episodes,
the
it wasn't
advert
that
for the
great.
second season. I know that Halo fans were upset because you saw Master Chief's arse.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
They
In a
were-
shower.
'cause-
Yeah.
He's still just wearing the
Hey,
helmet.
imagine-
Nothing else.
Imagine being angry at that. Just go. But
Yeah, but it
this
was
is
never in the
making me-
games, David.
This is
Why
this is
not?
making me feel things, and I'm not comfortable with that.
I tried to watch it, but I couldn't get over the fact that it's the guy from The Wire. And it
Yeah.
just was like, sorry.
Wait,
I'm
which
just
guy from the? Who is it?
from second, was it second season of The Wire, Matt? I think it was. The one that's set in the
second or
docks.
Yeah, second, yeah. But he's also in Orange is the New Black. Isn't that also the the guard from there? Yeah, I mean, I like Halo and games, and I haven't been bothered, so I think that says a
I
lot.
watched episode 1 and fucking hated it.
Really?
I was like, I'm not gonna waste my time on this at all.
Isn't it weird though? Because obviously we've all been around long enough to be like, well, it's a TV show based on a game. Of course, it was bad. But actually,
There's been loads
there's
of good
loads
ones.
of
recent
good
years,
ones
yeah.
now. Like we're in the
Last
age
of
of
Us,
we
baby.
can expect these to
Yeah,
be good.
Fallout, Last of Us.
Yeah.
Other
They
ones.
did all the
Yeah.
leaked.
Twisted Metal was pretty good. I
Oh
enjoyed
yeah,
that.
you watched that? Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought
Oh,
it was
yeah,
great.
you watched that.
Yeah.
Have you seen the leaked shots of the filming of Last of Us season 2?
No.
Yes.
I cannot believe they're doing it. I can't believe they're doing it. I cannot wait for that series to come out. For the people
Yeah.
that don't know what's going to happen, watching season 2 and just going, we're going to have that wave again.
Yeah.
Do you know, when the game come out and everyone was like, what the actual fuck? We're going to have that wave again, but from like people's uncles and stuff.
But yeah, I think they've said like the second game is going to be over 2 or 3 seasons, so it's not going to be a one and done thing.
Yeah, but that happens right at the
Oh yeah,
start.
I know, but no, because I think we'll go that at the start, and we'll also get the bit midway or later on. It's like people, I can't wait. I
Oh
cannot
my
wait
god,
to.
there's so much of it.
Yeah,
There's
the
so
discourse.
much of it that I'm
Yeah.
excited to see. Holy shit.
Yeah, I'm excited
I've
for
got
that.
a feeling that bit's not going to happen till later in the series because they're going to
Yes,
start with all the
yeah.
stuff in the town first, right?
Yeah, it would make sense to delay that, I think, rather than
But I
having it
don't.
minute one.
I want it. I want it 10 minutes into episode 1. And then for those of you that don't know what we're talking about, I apologise. We're talking around it. Obviously, we don't want to spoil anything. But something happens very early on in the game that I really want to happen very early on in the TV series. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. And just look over at Joe and go, in it though.
in it though.
And imagine what all of the gaming community felt. They're very...
The emotionally
way less
mature
tolerant.
gaming community.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so apparently somebody's going to try and pick up Halo, but I don't know if that's going to happen or not.
Pick it up and kill it properly.
No one's going to do that.
Okay, also, Nintendo, I mean, this is a really weird story, but they're releasing a new two-way stand for Switch Joy-Cons. At the moment, just in Japan, but it is also coming, to probably to other places. Costs about 16 quid, but it's so you can charge Joy-Cons. This feels a bit late in the cycle to be releasing something like
It's
this.
weird, isn't it? Unless this is secret confirmation that the new Switch is going to use the same.
Yeah, that's
Or
what I
at-
took from it.
Or at least the same connectors.
Yeah, same rails. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be. I think it's likely. I think the if I was to have a guess, I think the Joy-Cons
bet.
for the Switch 2 will be very similar, but I think they will be improved. I think they will be better Joy-Cons.
Wow, what a crazy prediction. So you're
But
thinking largely the same,
think
slightly
the-
better. Whoa!
I think the older Joy-Cons will also work with the new Switch.
Yeah, I think you're
do
right about that.
I do think that's going to happen.
I think it will use the same connectors, but yeah, I think they'll probably change them around a bit so that maybe they don't
I
break.
tell you what, though, I'm fucking tempted to get one of those NES ones now. To be honest with you,
Oh yeah.
yeah, we'll come to that later.
Okay. Last story is that there's been a release. There's been like a 10-minute preview release of Star Wars Outlaws. There's been video of it
has there?
online. Yeah, so showing 10 minutes from
I
like
never
a
knew
mission
that.
on a
I never
desert
knew
planet.
that. I didn't know that.
Okay,
Oh,
so
yeah?
have
Cool.
you seen it, James?
I've seen it. Yeah, I watched
Go
it.
on then.
I mean, I watched it. And, I mean, the thing that's been said most online that I've read was they've done a Watch Dogs on us. Which is in which is in all
Well,
the
one of the best games of the last 20 years.
whereas in all the video trailers and all that stuff that showed before, the main game looks a significant downgrade on that. So yeah, I mean, I'm feeling quite confident after watching this trailer because, I mean, I thought it looked shocking in places. Honestly,
Really? That
but
bad?
Yeah. I didn't think it looked that great.
Can I just read a couple of? I'm on the IGN website that's or the YouTube page that's got this. Some of the top comments here. How to save €80 in 10 minutes. Kate is completely unfazed by an exploding barrel immediately in proximity. An enemy further away instantly expires from the explosion. And what the fuck is that? How you feeling, Matt?
I haven't watched it. I've been very busy, and but it sounds good. I'm excited for the I'm excited for the game. I've heard some comments, and it's a bit disappointing actually. That people are probably just a
People
bit
are just
scared.
so negative, aren't they?
Yeah, they're so scared.
Yeah,
Like the
yeah,
same
yeah.
old people.
Yeah.
Oh, it's rubbish. And I'm not going to
It's about the
pre-order now.
gameplay,
It
guys.
looks like a 2013 game. Yeah, like think of the law. Think of the law. Think about other things. I don't care about. I don't care about graphics or explosions. Who cares about explosions? It's not explosions. The game. It's about a deep lore and story, and I think I'm really excited about it still.
You think
It
you're
should
really
be
excited?
really excited in
early
that
on.
case.
Early on in the gameplay footage, she walks through a crack in the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard about that, and actually, I have come around to that because it's good because that basically means the developers are hiding, loading, and rather that than a loading screen. So actually, I think great game.
okay,
I'm looking forward to.
I distinctly
playing it.
remember you saying, Matt, that loading screens are good. because you want to see some concept art and a tip.
And a tooltip, yeah. I mean, I think they should be rewarded for that, and I think well done, and I look forward to squeezing through some cracks in a cliff with a tattoo.
You know, I've not watched this, and I'm watching it now, and it is quite bad. They're right about the Watch Dogs thing is a good shout, because it really does not look as good as the earlier trailers.
doesn't.
Like, it looks really downgraded.
It's probably just YouTube compression.
Well, that's the thing, because IGN did release another tweet that said, "We've noticed some people saying that this is maybe like compressed. So here's another one, to make sure this is in 4K and everything." And then, but yeah, it still doesn't. I still don't think it looks that great.
We've all got to play it though, right?
I don't know.
buying
See,
it.
that's the thing. We've
got to. Like, it's too big not to.
See, I was thinking about buying it, but then seriously, after watching this trailer, I thought I don't really want to spend like 70 quid on this.
Yeah, but you've got to.
Good.
That must be part of your contract.
Well, can that be when we do the video of getting the tattoo done? Can part of that be that we all go to someone's house and we play it? Like, we'll go to Dave's house or something. We all just play a bit of the game together and talk about it.
Yeah, but a tattoo isn't going to be for a while. We're going to want to play it in a week.
70 quid, Sean.
Yeah, I am.
Pathetic.
I don't want to play the game.
Yeah, a tattoo might not be for a while. Whereas we want to play this in the week it comes out, so I'll be playing it.
Well, look, I'm committed to, but I'm just.
I mean, if you work for Ubisoft PR, don't listen to things I've said in old episodes. Don't worry about that. If there's any free copies going.
No, but we don't like Ubisoft, so we're not going to be part of that.
No.
Buy it, Sean. Buy it. £70. In fact, actually, I think we should all buy the special edition version.
Yeah, because you get extra
Edition.
DLC as well.
Yeah.
The Jabba DLC.
I don't want to give Eves any more money.
Let's see. The special edition version, the Ultimate Edition, is £120.
Yeah, I'm gonna pre-order that tomorrow, I think.
You think?
Are you not confident then, Matt? Are you done or?
It's not over yet, but it's not looking good, is it? I'll be honest. It's not looking.
We're 4-0 down at half time.
Yeah, we come back from worse. Yeah, it's not looking good at all, is it? A shame, because I was looking forward to this quite a lot, and but we'll see. Still to play for. This might be a little like red herring before previews are actually stunning.
Red herring, what? They
Stunning.
intentionally put
Puts
out
the
bad
rubbish
footage
out.
to be like, haha, we tricked you. It's actually great.
Yeah,
That
maybe.
was great market. Matt, is that what you do in your marketing department?
No.
Would you? Oh God, Matt's getting a tattoo of a Wookiee on his arse.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know. I'm confident, but then something horrible.
You
could
should be
happen.
supremely confident, James. There's literally no way you're going to lose this.
Yeah. I mean, 85 is pretty high, right? It's quite a high score.
Here's a question.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this on the way home, driving home today. If Matt loses the bet, he's got to get a tattoo. James doesn't fly over to watch him get a tattoo.
Oh,
does
I
he?
will. Absolutely, I'll do that.
You
Must
do
make
that.
absolutely
Yeah, of
sure
course.
it's real.
Yeah, why would I not do that? I want to be a talking head in the video.
James, Sean won't spend £70 to be part of the conversation. You'll spend 130 quid on flights and go and watch.
I mean, to be
him
fair,
get
it probably cost
not
me
that
more
much.
to get the fucking train the way
it's
they're going at the moment.
It's true.
About 40 or
Broken
50 quid to
Britain.
fly over.
Broken
Fine.
Britain. They said it was
Britain,
going
mate.
to fucking change, didn't they,
Yeah.
when they got in? It
Thank you,
fucking
Kia.
hasn't.
Well, apparently they're going to
Cost me a-
nationalise it, so
Yeah. Thank you,
Cost me a
Kia.
fucking pound for some what's it? Are we done with the news?
Yeah, that's all the news this week.
Okay. What you've been playing, and there's a number of new releases that we're going to go through. I would like to start with Nintendo World Championships NES Edition, which is the new release from those folks over at Nintendo. I've been playing it. James, you've been playing it. For those of you that don't know what this game is, it's a speedrunner game. What they've done is they've taken a bunch of NES classic games and they've resold them to you. But the idea is that they're going to treat it like a ultra competitive. They break down the games to the points where you've got many challenges. So, for example, the first challenge you do is in Super Mario Bros, where you have to get a mushroom as quick as possible. So it can take like 3 seconds, and you've got to keep going over and over and over and over again to shave off like milliseconds of your time to get this mushroom. And actually, James, have you got your Switch there?
I have, yeah. I mean, do you want me to load it up? 'Cause I
Yeah,
can,
just boot out the game. Right, check this out.
hang on.
So I've got mine here, and you got to connect to the internet. It's all.
Oh, I've got the results are in. I can check the
That's all
results.
right. Okay, well, hold on. We'll check that later.
Well, no, it's connecting
Check
now.
later. If you could go to speedrun at the top.
Hang on, it's stuck on. Oh, there we go. Right, good. Right, okay.
Right, go to speedrun at the top.
Yeah.
And then if you go to Super Mario Bros.
Yeah.
And then the second challenge along, Loose Change.
Yeah.
What score have you got for that?
2.85.
Oh, I got 2.55. So if you go down one,
Yeah.
and then Octorok Onslaught, that's Zelda, right? Yeah. What's your score for that?
6.05.
Oh wow, I've got 2 seconds 85.
Oh, that's pretty good.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you find out what your friends have scored on this fucking speedrunning game.
Ridiculous, isn't it?
Nintendo are on crack. They have somehow developed a game that is so brilliant, and the concept of the game is fucking genius. How do we repackage these old games that we've sold to them a million times? The games that are already on their consoles, how do we repackage this in a way that people want to spend money on it? They've done it. They achieved it. Let's break it down into these little challenges within games. Fucking brilliant idea. There's no scoreboards on them. There's no scoreboards on them. Wrap your fucking head around that. Like, I can't remember being this conflicted about a gaming purchase. Because I'll be honest, I have spent hours on this game over the weekend because I love repeating the challenges over and over again. But it feels like I'm pissing into the wind because I have absolutely no idea how I'm doing against other people.
But you could do you do have the World Championships thing or whatever, right? Doesn't that give you some something?
Doesn't do enough. So here's the thing, right? Sean, you've got to hear this.
Mm-hmm.
So there are different game modes. One of them is speedrun, where you can go through every single challenge, but you've got to keep trying them over and over again. And every time you try them, you get cash, and then you spend cash to unlock a new challenge. Right? The gut feeling is that you get to the challenge, you finish it at the end, and you want to see how you're getting on in the world and against your friends. It doesn't do that. It will not let you do that. You cannot compare times, right? There's the main sort of thrust or the main idea of it is that with the speedrunning mode, that's you practicing. So you can put practice into all these challenges, and then every now and then it will do a world championship mode. I think it's quite regular, right? It's like it's a weekly thing.
It's weekly,
yeah.
I think,
So you get 4 or 5 challenges, and you've got to focus on those challenges alone, and it only counts if you're doing it within this world challenge mode. You can't do it in speedrun and it will count. You've got to do it within these world challenge mode, and at the end you get to find out how you got on against people around the world, and that's what's just happened now. The deadline was this morning at 9 o'clock British summer time, or was it 10 o'clock British summer time, and it will tell you how you've got on against other people, but it doesn't have a live comparison. So you can do these things over and over again, and you're like, well, I don't know if that's good or not. And
right, and then you just got to kind of sit on it, and then
yeah.
But now it's updated for a week. Do you now see a leaderboard?
Right, so here we'll find out live because we don't know. The game's only just done this once, and it's done it today, right? So let me see. So if I go to World Championship mode, it says the results are in. So it's connecting. Let's find out what it does together. Your recent results. Connecting. I want to see if I did better than James, right?
Right. You're never going to find out.
First one, it says... Right, I finished 10,728th. Right, that's fine.
Congrats.
Top
Decent in the
20%.
world.
Top 20%. year of birth ranking 462. So it's done it. So everyone that's born in 1984, I finished 462nd.
Which one's that for? Is that for the first one?
For the first one.
Yeah.
Now, how did I get on against my friends, James? Doesn't say.
No.
Doesn't say.
Wow.
See, I mean,
can't-
I've got. It's ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, I've got a
I
rubbish
can't see how I got
rank.
on with my friends.
I'm in the top 60%, which is terrible. But then also, I mean, I've got my birth year, and yes, also.
Top 1%.
Yeah, I was gonna say it must be like number 2 or 3.
But no, this is what's really annoying because they were talking about this, I think, on the Play One podcast, where it's like the problem with this also is that if you're born in around the time that I was, or give or take a couple of years, it's going to be much.
62.
It's going to be much harder, in those rankings because they're people. We're people that grew up with these games, and generally,
Yeah, but there's also about 20 of you left. It's going to be way easier.
Yeah, as more
Also,
people
your
die off,
reaction
it'll be
speeds
alright.
are dreadful. Wow, I finished 7,741 in the Mario 2 one. I did really well with this one. I want to know how I got on in 1984. Wow, 378th. See, it's pointless. I don't care.
Yeah.
What I want to know is, am I doing better than James? And as you're doing the world rankings, I want to go, oh, James has beat me on that one. I need to push before the deadline.
Yeah.
I need to get higher. It's like it's mental. Nintendo, like I know we talk about this on the show all the time, right? We go, Nintendo, they make some crazy decisions, don't they? Oh, it's Nintendo. It's Nintendo.
Sure, don't do the internet. Yeah.
No, they don't do the internet. They're a bit weird. This one's like they've gone, should we really lean into it? Should we really lean into how fucking mental people think we are? And let's really fucking go for it on this one. And they went for it on this one. I mean,
you see, I've played this over the weekend, and I probably haven't played it as much as you have, Dave. But I thought it's okay. But I miss it's nowhere near as good as NES Remix, which was fantastic. Mostly because the thing is I don't really care very much.
what was NES Remix?
So that was the one that came out. I think it came out on the Wii U definitely, and I think they also released a 3DS version of it as well, which is basically the same kind of thing, but instead of it being like speedruns and stuff, it's just they remixed the levels and like changed things and made it like sort of like little challenges and stuff that were based around things being quite different, and it was great because it was really. I mean, the thing is, I don't really care that much about speedrunning. It's not something I really particularly care about.
Why did you buy this then? That's literally the game.
Because I thought at least there'd be the leaderboards thing, which then gives it some kind of like, okay, that is interesting. Because if I'm competing, I'd rather be competing with friends, that are on there. Then it has some meaning. Whereas obviously, as we've just been saying, it has no meaning now for me. This, whereas NES Remix at least felt like they were doing something different as well. Like they were in, sort of changing the game mechanics up, changing the visuals, all that kind of stuff. And it's just a bit of a shame, I think, with this. I mean,
I just love the concept. Like, I love the speed running stuff. I was a big fan of Neon White. I love watching games done quick. I was really struggling on one of the World Championship levels. It was the one where you play as Luigi in Mario 2, and you got to get the evasion's the key. It's called. And I was like, I do not understand how I beat my time here. I'm jumping straight on the was it Magic Carpet, and then flying to the pipe and going down as quick as I can, but I can't reduce my time. And then I played the split screen mode, which I'll explain in a bit. And I saw the ghost of someone completely like not even jumping on the carpet. He was jumping on the enemies that are flying in the thing and just shot across this fucking big gap really quickly. So then I spent 2 hours trying to do that. Like, I was like, right, I need to nail this. I need to get this right. And I did. And I felt amazing for it. I lobbed 10 seconds off my time. It was nuts. I love that stuff. And part of me goes, do you know what? I want everyone to do this. I love a Sega version. I love a SNES version and an N64 version. I could play this stuff all day long. I would buy every single one. I just cannot believe how wildly out of touch with the concept they are. Like, I can't believe they're not looking at it and going, if we just add scoreboards, which isn't a hard thing to do,
Yeah.
you've done the hard thing. You've made these challenges and you've split it all up and it all works and it all feels fun to play. You've done the hard bit. The easy bit, just put leaderboards on
You see,
everything.
I'm just baffled as why they seem to think it's so terrible for friends to play, like to, have interaction with each other, like on their service. I just don't understand, especially for something like this. What harm can there possibly be from allowing people to like check, what their friend at what's their friend's speeds? I don't
I
understand.
cannot believe, even in the championship mode where it does do a leaderboard,
Yeah.
I cannot believe I can't compare my results to yours.
Mm-hmm.
That's
At least
insane.
in that mode, exactly. Like at least in that mode, you could do that, and it's like no, very strange.
So the other modes, if you're interested in the game, I need to find out what they actually call them. So the other modes they've got are oh god, this it's a wild so it's got survival mode, which is like a knockout mode. And they have a silver division and a gold division. The problem is the silver division's quite easy, and the gold division is you know is I've not won it yet. So it's pretty tricky. And what that does, it breaks it down into 3 games, 3 of the speed running challenges, and you're playing against like 7 ghosts. But the ghosts are all of random people, so you don't really feel that it's like it could easily just cheat. It could go, right, we're going to find ghosts that have done it in 20 seconds. And so basically the idea is you've got to do this challenge, but in less than 20 seconds. You've got one opportunity to do it.
Yeah.
And then you've got to finish in the top half every time. So the first game is 8 people, it reduces down to 4 for the second game, and then 2 for the final. But you've got no connection with the people you're playing with, so it doesn't matter. And also it's really short, so if you don't do it, it doesn't matter because you've only got through round 1 or 2 before you get knocked out anyway. So that loses the tension that it's going for. If it was for 100 people and it was like 10 game modes, like in Fall Guys or whatever,
Yeah.
you go, what a fucking brilliant idea. It's not, so it doesn't, and you just think, okay. And then finally you've got party mode, which I don't know if you've tried, James.
That's for like just local multiplayer, right? As in, like, if you-
Local multiplayer.
yeah.
It's fucking brilliant, but also I can't play it because this game makes Harry so insanely angry when you're competing that it's impossible.
See, that's
He
the
beat
thing.
me
Like,
once. Legitimately, he beat me once. Right? I wasn't letting him win. He fucking beat me. Next game, I beat him, and he stormed off. And when this game's shit, it doesn't work. He didn't say that, but like, it's like the game don't work. It wouldn't let me jump. It wouldn't. I was proper kicking off about it. And you go, okay, well, so now I've not
See-
even got that in my life anymore.
this is why it's a shame as well that I know it is impossible this was going to happen, but there's no like online mode for that stuff. Like for party mode,
The
because the
4
thing
of
is,
us playing it live
Yeah.
would be brilliant fun.
and that's the
Yeah.
problem because I couldn't play this with my family because I don't think it'd be fun like for anybody because I've played these games for years and they have no idea like how how to really play them, and I don't.
You'll be surprised though. You'll be surprised because the thing is that I feel the same. I've played these games for years. I'm clearly going to wipe the floor with them. But when you've got one shot to do them, there's
Yeah.
every chance of ballsing up and the other person doesn't.
Especially if it's ice climbers, because that's always been crap.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, it's a bit of a mess. But that's part of the fun, right? Like I like that. I don't want the games to be brilliant. I want the challenges to be short and fun and competitive. Like I want Harry to be able to beat me because I ballsed up because I've made a mistake. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like I want that stuff. And that's what makes it so wild to me that they're insisting on comparing you to the rest of the world and not your family or your friends.
Yeah.
Because isn't that kind of against what Nintendo do?
Well, not online. It's not.
And if you're
Yeah,
if you're repackaging old games like this, get this shit right, because otherwise it just feels really fucking weird. What a strange release, and it's a game that I'm gonna continue playing because I love every second of playing it. It's just such a poor decision to take out leaderboards that I can't quite grasp how they got to this point.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
And
we go,
it's-
it's Nintendo though, isn't it? Yeah, it is. But even for them, this is mental.
But it is because in their other games they've done, like I think F-Zero and the Tetris 99, like there's leaderboards for that. I think for like with friends and stuff, like you can compare yourself. I think
Is
I
that?
may be wrong, but
Yeah, I don't remember.
But yeah, I'm sure that you
Yeah,
can.
but that's different. That is a game that's like I wouldn't expect to be able to compare my scores in survival mode with you, right? That's fine. Like I'm not really trying to compare how I'm getting on. Oh, you've won 7 gold medals and James hasn't. Well, actually, that's because I play survival mode more than him. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to compare that stuff. What I do want to compare is that I can get the mushroom quicker than you by 0.01 seconds.
Yeah,
And
that
that's
and
going to
also
push you off and drive
particularly-
you to play the game more.
Exactly. And that particularly like the World Championship thing, like I don't understand that. Like why you
No.
wouldn't want to compare that? Because that would give me an extra incentive to like think, yeah, I'm going to try this. I'm going to see if I can get better. With the World Championship. It's
And do you know what's incredible? Is that if they did that, if all that leaderboard stuff was in there, and they regularly went, right, every month we're going to add a new NES game, or we're going to add new challenges to the NES games, you'd go, fucking, what a genius idea, and I think it would take off. Like, I'd be going back to it all the time, trying to beat James's scores, trying to, check out the new games or whatever. What a brilliant concept for a game.
yeah.
And this
And
is
also,
what we've got.
You could use it also to promote like Nintendo Online because it's like, do you want to play more of this? If you subscribe to this service, you can play all these games. Like the whole thing.
Absolutely.
It's but
I
no.
can't wrap my head around it. Anyway, that's Nintendo World Championships NES edition.
Yeah, I did
I'll wait
quite
for the SNES
fancy
one.
it. But I did quite fancy it, but then as soon as I heard on release day there's no leaderboard time at one, there's zero chance now.
Yeah, same.
Shame.
It's so frustrating because I will be hammering that game to make sure that I was above James on all of them.
So now you literally just have to just wait and then ask. Because I've seen some people like tweeting pictures of their Switch consoles to like share their scores. Which
You know what we need, Dave? We need a shared Google sheet. With like, all this-
I mean, depressingly, that's probably the answer, right?
Oh, mate. No, the answer is Nintendo patch this in.
I don't think they will, man. I think this
No,
was
they
this is a design
absolutely
decision.
won't.
That they,
Absolutely won't patch it in. That's not Nintendo's way.
I just
They
love to know
need
the
to patch it
logic.
in.
I just love to know why. What's the logic there? But I don't know. Strange.
They don't even answer. They don't give interviews or talk about this shit.
Well, yeah,
ever
because
anymore,
because
do they?
their usual sort of reticence around online play. I understand it's from a child protection point of
Hell
view,
yeah,
right?
yeah, I get that. Yeah.
Okay. Leaderboards, come on.
Leaderboards against friends.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Even if they say we're not doing world leaderboards, I don't care. I wouldn't
Yeah,
check the world leaderboards.
Yeah, but
I
maybe
don't
you'd
give a
like
shit.
maybe like on the leaderboard you'd like write in your name as like knob or something like that, and then it might upset me.
Right, if it's displaying
Yeah, but hold on.
offensive names. But then if it's just your
Well-
friends list.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Don't be friends with Knob.
I'm sure that but there'll be words that will be
Friends
on
with
the banned
three of them,
list.
mate.
Yeah, that's easy as hell to fix because there'll be words on the ban list, and if you put knob or big fat knob or big knob,
Hold on. Phil
etc.
will sound in the chat.
Small
You
knob.
can't even post
Yeah,
your
or small knob.
result screen to Twitter now. What does that mean?
No,
No,
you
no,
can't,
because
they
they took
removed
out
it.
X and they took out the
The integration.
functionality, yeah.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, you'd have
Alright,
to
okay.
beam it
Well,
over to your
anyway,
phone.
what a fucking
Everyone has.
weird company Nintendo is. This is just another fucking massive reminder how fucking weird they are. I want to talk about Nobody Wants to Die because Matt and James has been playing it, and I saw videos of this, and it looks fucking incredible. Please confirm that it's incredible. I nearly bought it today, but I was going to wait to hear what you said.
Well, it's
about
on
it.
Game
No?
Pass.
Oh, is
Is
it
it?
really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Damn.
I don't think it
wow.
is, Matt.
Oh no, is it not? I mean, maybe I bought it. No, actually, I do know now. I bought it. I'm so used to not buying games. I just thought, I assume it's Game Pass. Yeah, no, I did buy that one actually. Yeah, Flock is on Game Pass. This one isn't.
Okay.
Nobody
Wants to Die.
Yes. Yeah. So James, how much have you played, James?
I finished it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
I bought-
it's not very long. It's only like sort of 4 to 5 hours long, I'd
Yeah.
say. It's
Perfect.
quite
Yeah,
short.
I've also finished it.
45 hours.
4 to 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
5. He's 45 hours. 45. 45. No, I mean 45.
But yeah, Nobody Wants to Die is like it's a noir thriller detective game that looks absolutely stunning. It's Unreal Engine 5, and it's one of the best looking games I think I've seen this year. I'm not sure what you think, James, but it looks absolutely.
I've seen trailers for it, and that was the first thing that struck me. Just the environments looked absolutely stunning.
Yeah, it looks incredible. I mean, we'll come back to the actual gameplay in a minute, but what I do on the environments is really interesting. So it's like a huge kind of cityscape set in like the year 2329. So it's got loads of 20s and 1920s, 1940s cars, but they all fly, and it's all around like futuristic version of New York. And they do really good stuff because it looks, this is made by, I think it's their debut game, and the levels themselves are quite kind of, linear and funnel you down to certain places. They're not huge, but there are some areas where you can go outside and see like the huge cityscape, and it looks absolutely incredible. And it looks like, you can go anywhere. It's not really that, but I think what they do is, I think they do really well. But
yeah, the world building is pretty good. Like, as in, although it is quite linear, like the entire game is very, very linear, but it hides it quite well, I would say, because as Matt said, like there's like you have like an apartment that you live in, and you can sort of like climb through the window and then sort of like sit on a massive neon sign and just look at the rest of the city as everything's going around you, and it does feel very lived in and very sort of like it feels so well realized as like as an environment that
it's absolutely dripping with atmosphere. You only play. It's only set at night, so you get all like the shiny neon signs. There's always tipping down rain. But no, the game itself, yeah. So you play as this cop who was involved in an accident, and as a result, you're kind of not on the job, but you're desperate to work. So you get assigned a handler, and it's basically you and this person who you just talk to over comms. And yeah, you go to this place where it looks like someone's killed themselves, but actually it turns out they think it's probably a murder and not suicide. And then you're basically exploring various kind of crime scenes and trying to work out the mystery of the game. But how it works is it's all about reconstructing crime scenes. So you're going to these crime scenes, and in the first one you'll see someone dead. But you have this reconstructor tool, which you basically scan the environment, and you get basically like a holograph of moments just before the murder. And you have this like tool where you can like kind of use the left trigger to go backwards in the scene, right trigger to go forwards, and you're kind of like trying to piece together what happened in the scene. So you might rewind a little bit, and then you'll notice something else on another anomaly in the scene. You'll go over to there, you'll scan it, you'll reconstruct it, you'll analyze some bits of some clues, and then with that you can then reconstruct another part. And essentially you're going to these crime scenes trying to work out exactly what happened, who was involved. You as the character talking to the person on the comms to say, well, the motive was this, or where did the person come from? How did they die? Why did they get killed? So you have a reconstructor, which is one of your tools. It's basically the whole game is based around these 3 tools. You get that. You have a UV lamp, which you can use to look at blood trails around the environment. Again, like you might say, well, the body is here, but this doesn't make sense. And you'll take out your little tool and you'll like scan it and like work out where the trail of blood went. You also have an X-ray gun thing, and you can use that to like look at where like cables might be hidden in the walls, or cables to generators, or even also bullet trails. So you can look at like a dead body, and then you'll scan the X-ray, and you're like, oh well, the bullet trails came from this direction, and you go over there and find someone else using reconstruction. It's really, really well done, I think.
But also like how people have died as well. Like you can like X-ray the body, and you can see, okay, yeah, this person's had a bullet to the head and stuff like that. And the thing, I don't know what you felt about this, Matt, but like the actual like the gameplay in inverted commas like aspect of this is a lot less sort of detective based than it initially appears. Like
yes.
when you enter the first crime scene, you're thinking, okay, I've got all of these tools, I need to piece this together for myself and like kind of work out what's happened. It's not really like that, because actually there's only one possible solution for everything.
Yes.
And you have to do it in the order that they want you to do it in as well. And so you're basically just sort of you spend time basically just trying to figure out how do I get from like point A to point B, to point C, and then in the way that the game wants me to. Because a couple of times I was like, oh, okay, I think there's some like blood up the wall here. I can use my UV light to like trace it, and it's like, actually no, I can't yet because I haven't got to that part of the investigation that they want me to do.
That's a
And
shame.
so-
That sounds really annoying.
Yeah, it's. I mean, the entire game is very much like a walking simulator in the sense that you're playing through a story and you are making decisions because the decisions you're making are actually mostly narrative-based decisions based on dialogues and conversations you're having, rather than actions that you're taking. Because the actions you're taking are really scripted of like what you have to do, and I think as soon as I kind of made peace with that, I was fine with that because I found the story. I don't know about you, Matt, but I found the story quite interesting. And
I found it interesting, but quite complicated. I mean, I was like kind of just about had my, just about holding on for dear life. Like there's a lot of characters and a lot of like, oh yeah, this person did that and this person did that. It's one big sprawling kind of story with, with some characters. And I was like, oh, what? Because you hear about and read about a lot of characters and story. I'm like, am I supposed to be keeping all this in my head at once? I thought the story was interesting, but I wasn't really along with it the whole way because I felt like I was holding on for dear life.
it's also like by the time that you get to the end of the story, I don't know if you felt this way, Matt, but it's like they don't. There's a lot of things they kind of leave out and don't that you're supposed to try and work out for yourself. Like clearly, it's like you're supposed to be trying to figure this out. That's a kind way of looking at this as being like that actually this is your interpretation to a degree of what happens. Like towards the end of it. I mean, I can talk a little bit. I think about like the premise of the story.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Because I mean, the story is it's set in this New York, as Matt said, where like they've kind of figured out eternal life. And what it is, but it's based on this idea of you basically are switching bodies, like you're entering somebody else's body, hence the nobody wants to die aspect.
I've got to ask, James, have you watched or read Altered Carbon?
No, but that's what I've heard a lot of people.
Yeah,
compare
Yeah,
this
I've
to.
heard people reference this. Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
sounds like a pretty straight rip-off. But
So, does Alter Carbon deal with issues of what happens in a society whereby nobody dies anymore and how the society stagnates as a result of that?
Yep.
And then also you end up with because of the class system, you end up with basically the poor working class kind of becomes eliminated because they can't afford the bodies, they can't afford to move on. So rich people instead are the only people that are like actually getting the new bodies, but then they start to go a bit far with things because they've got this immortality and they want to experience different things in their lives that perhaps they wouldn't be able to experience if they knew they were going to die. And so that, I mean, you get the idea of where that's sort of going. So that and so what's interesting about it is that it is this idea of like you're investigating what appear to be murders that have happened, and like why would this happen in this society whereby people can continue in anyway? Like what's the point? Of this sort of happening, and it's interesting. It's just that the problem is, as I don't know if Matt you felt the same, is that by the time it gets to the end, there's this whole idea of because of how many times people are switching bodies, you get this like psychosis. Is what happens to people because they eventually, if you've been living for hundreds of years, what does living even mean anymore? And it starts to really like mess with people's heads, and it becomes pretty clear, like as the story goes on, it's like what's real, what's not real, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And and they don't like in the ending I got, they definitely don't wrap that up as a concept. Like they don't give you any kind of idea as to what the answer is to that. I think you're supposed to try and work it out for yourself. But again, I'm not sure
That's
if
okay
that's
though. That's a big concept to try and wrap up. Like maybe it doesn't need an answer. It's one of those, isn't it?
There is that. It's just that, as Matt said, they throw in a lot of characters and a lot of sort of people, and it's not entire like keeping track of everybody and what the motivations are and why people are doing this, or if they are doing this and stuff like that becomes a bit.
Yeah, I thought that kind of took me out of the story. Although, like,
well
there was loads of kind of the atmosphere with like the music and the graphics and the kind of the noir style of like narration, which you get a little bit of that kind of in between scenes was really atmospheric. But the story just kind of went by, and I wasn't really as engaged.
And that's the thing, like the first 2/3 of the game, I was really enjoying, like really, really digging, mostly because of the atmosphere and because of the different environments you go to, interesting conversations, and also the concepts were pretty good. But the last third of the game, it felt to me like there was a step missing, like narratively, between where you end up and where you are in the game, which was a bit of a shame. But I still think it's worth playing, because I think it's. I mean, again, visually absolutely stunning, but also it's good. I mean, I know, like as you said, Sean, like this is probably altered carbon. This is based on other stuff. It's still interesting to see it like expressed in this way, like through this game. I thought.
Yeah, to be fair, it's not like we ever got a good altered carbon game, so yeah, fine.
I mean, one of the things that I loved about this was there's a lot of similarities here actually with what was that called? I forgot what it's called now. This anime game that I played ages ago. The one with time traveling. Oh, this is not helping me.
You have to narrow it down.
Oh no, because it's like
Anime game with time travel.
Oh no, because I've talked about this game loads, and it's completely blanking now.
I'm really sorry, I can't remember.
Steins Gate.
That's it.
Gate?
Steins Gate.
Yeah.
Steins
Thank you,
Gate.
Shai.
That's the one. Thank you, Shai. But yeah, it's Steins Gate. There's some similar ideas to that as well, like this idea of if you can keep repeating something, what does that mean for you as a person? Because you essentially become almost godlike. Once you have that, because you can start making decisions that probably you wouldn't do if you knew that your life was going to come to an end. And it's very interesting. Really, really interesting. But yeah,
You're not selling me on it.
No, so I've seen some reviews which are incredibly high on this. I mean, I actually thought, like I just felt like the tools were a little bit finicky for me. Like they didn't feel as satisfying, like to even use. But everything else was like enough to get me through the end. But I do agree with James. I think 2/3 of the way through, even though it's only a 4 to 5 hour game, I was like, I kind of want it to, get to the conclusion now. But it does. I quite like so after you do like each of these crime scenes, you go back to your apartment or whatever, and then at that point you have a section where you have to put all these clues together to essentially really kind of really sell the story. So you have always like clues, and you have like a motive, and then like that bit, you have a couple of questions from the person you're working with, and you have always things that you picked up in each crime scene. And you're trying like, okay, does that match? And then like you're trying to kind of create like a little pathway on each aims by connecting always like 4, 5, or 6 like clues together. I thought that was quite interesting because there's some things you pick up which actually don't relate to the story or don't relate us directly to the story. But I thought that was quite fun. This game does also have a hint mode, which I realised I never actually used once because it's so linear. I just kept walking around the arenas. Okay, you got it. But yeah, I think the hint mode literally says go over there, scan that, go here, scan this. But
tell you what though, this does perspective puzzles, of which there is one section that has a couple of these way better than Hellblade 2 did. It's way less frustrating. Seriously,
Not selling me on it for some reason. I came into this thinking I cannot wait. I'm all over this, and now I'm thinking I might not bother.
I don't think you'd enjoy like the gameplay side of things. I don't think you'd enjoy.
Not selling me on it even more now.
It's because like it is very limited in terms of like actual interaction of what you're doing, and it is all like very.
I'm okay with that. As long as when it comes to stuff like that, my least favorite thing in games like that is when you don't know what to do next. I hate it. I think it's
that's not an issue with it.
That's absolutely not a problem because this really shows you where to go.
Yeah, if you're after, like a nice short game, dripping with atmosphere, and you kind of want to add noir stuff, I mean, I think it does really well in that sense. There's some gameplay things that don't quite, sell me, but I've seen some incredibly high scores for this, and some people saying this is a like game of the year contender. Where's this come from? For me, it wasn't quite there, but I was happy to play it for all the atmosphere at the very least. And yeah, it looks absolutely stunning. It looks, and I was actually just playing it in performance mode because it's like 60 there versus 30. But even that, it looks absolutely incredible.
I mean, also stuff like the voice acting and all that kind of thing is
voice acting
good.
Really good. Really believable. Yeah. It made me want to play Max Payne actually.
Actually, I mean, there's a lot of similarities there.
Look forward to the remake of that.
With like plot-wise, there's similarities.
I don't know actually.
No.
But yeah, it makes me want to play that.
Do watch Altered Carbon season 1 anyway. We fell off season 2, but season 1's really good on Netflix.
I do remember starting that, but for whatever reason we dropped off. But so is that done now? I
think they killed it after season 2. I think everyone stopped watching it.
Oh, cool.
Never mind.
Flock is a game that Matt and Sean and I have played.
Oh, have you played it as well?
Yeah, I didn't.
Oh, you played a bit of it, didn't you?
I don't feel that I played enough of it.
What?
Sean, do you want to introduce
on?
this one?
This is on Game Pass.
This is on
Xbox.
Game Pass.
Right, okay.
And probably other consoles too. But
yeah. So I was really excited for this because it's by Richard Hogg and, well, among other people, Richard Hogg and Ricky. Oh fuck, what's his name? I've forgotten. Commander Klob on Twitter.
Gervais?
Ricky Haggett, that's it.
Okay.
Who, yeah, among other people, made Ho Hokum about 10 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Which I absolutely adored. They've done a few, like, they've done decent games since. Nothing I've loved quite the same, but this looked like it was sort of like exploring similar territory in that Ho Hokum was this game where you were just this like line creature, like you were playing Snake or whatever, but you had like free movement, and you were just going through these different environments. You were trying to find these other snake creatures, and you did it by just sort of being in these environments and sort of prodding at them and seeing how the interactions worked and being like, oh right, shit, if I do this, then this happens, and eventually you would work out the systems and free these other creatures, and I absolutely loved it. And this felt like it was a similar thing in that you're a guy on like this giant bird flying around, and there's just this environment that's full of these little creatures, and you're discovering them and identifying them, and then they join your little flock as you fly around. It's beautiful, right? I absolutely adore the way it looks, the way it sounds. Like, it's genuinely felt like therapeutic playing it. Like, all the nasty wrinkles in my brain were just getting fucking ironed out. But I finished, well, the credits rolled, and I was like, okay, is that the end then? And
How long did it take to get to credits?
I don't know. It must have only been like 3-4 hours, something like that.
Oh right, okay.
And there's more stuff to do. Like, there's creatures I've not found and stuff, but I've felt absolutely no need to go back or think about it since.
So what triggers credits? Not completing the entire.
No, you get credits when you basically. So as you, the way the sort of structure of it works is you start out in the middle of this map and you're at the highest point, like, in terms of elevation, and there's this sort of fog everywhere below you, and then every so often there'll be like a special creature that's like a unique creature that there'll be like a specific sort of sequence of events to sort of catch it and tame it and make it join your flock. And then when you do that, the mist lowers a bit, and then the landscape sort of widens out, and there's a bit more to explore. And then that happens like several times over. And basically, you do all of those, and then you get like a bag of like animal feed that you can put in these little feeder things that dotted around the map. And then it's like, yeah, credits. I was like, oh,
It's weird.
It's really strange. Like, in no way was it like, this is it. This is what we've been working towards. Like,
Yeah, that's weird, isn't it? Because it feels like games like that, like look, this is a very. It feels very low budget. It feels the game that it reminded me of the most when I was playing it was what was it? Not
Flow?
Flanimals? No, what was it?
Okay.
The
Flanimals is a Ricky Gervais book, isn't it?
oh yeah, it was the PS4 launched. Was it PS4 launch game or PS5 launch game?
Don't
Where
remember.
it was the Aussie one, and I thought, it's gonna be really dark. It's supposed to be all really funny. and it's actually
Bug
really
Snacks.
dark.
Bug Snacks, yeah.
Bug Snacks. Flanimals. Bug Snacks. Like, when it really reminded me of Flanimals because it had that look about it.
Snacks.
I think it's
Bug Snacks.
Yeah,
Fucking
Bug Snacks. Fucking hell.
really reminds me of Flanimals.
It really reminds me of Bug Snacks. But it also reminded me of like a Grow Up where you kind of think, oh, it seems very straightforward and very like limited, or not limited, but very basic. But I was thinking, oh, this is going to build to something that's going to blow my mind, right? And I thought, now, I'm not enjoying this. Do I continue to then start seeing how it blows my mind? And by the sounds of it, the answer is it doesn't.
No. What I've two things. What I find really strange is basically the discovery and the taming of the creatures is just never that interesting or that involved. Aside from there's these sort of story ones, but then even then, like, a lot of those are like, oh, there's this one creature that like leaves these like marks around, so find 5 of those, and then there's the creature. Off you go, like chase it now. Like
And then there's a weird quiz that I didn't really get. Does it continue
yeah. So
to
when
do
you when you like tame and you discover a new creature.
I was like, quiz. I don't remember that. I was like, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, it's like trying to determine which of these is
you've
the
got to
creature you
identify
found.
the creature, but it's not like you're discovering them for the first time. It's like someone else has already catalogued all of these.
Yeah.
It's just making you guess. So basically, you'll
But
catch a
also
creature, and then it'll be like, right, it belongs to like this family, and then after a bit, it gets you to guess like what family of creatures it belongs to, which is even if you get it wrong, it's like, no, that's incorrect, but don't worry about it.
Yeah, try again.
And then
the thing was that the early ones, it's just like you look at it, it's a little blue fish, and you look down, and it's like it's yellow, it's spiky,
yeah,
it's got a nose with a curly tail, it's a blue fish, it's a cheese.
It's that one then. It's the blue fish.
It's the blue fish then, isn't it?
I'll
Yeah,
take the blue
correct.
fish. Thank you.
Correct. It's the blue fish.
Yeah, and it like if you get it wrong a couple of times, it kind of just says no, it's this one. But if you get it right, it's like yeah.
If you get it wrong twice, it's like, are you fucking stupid?
Blue fish.
Yeah, look at it.
And you know, I get like if they didn't want it to be difficult, they wanted it to be just this seamless, chill experience. But it's to the point that I'm just like, well, this just isn't that interesting. And like, and what I find doubly strange, I should say, anyone listening to this, if you're thinking, oh, I heard this was good, yeah, everyone seems to like it more than me. Sorry, but it pushes itself at like the description on like Steam and the Xbox Store is like a co-op multiplayer game to play with your friends. I haven't played it with anyone else because everyone I know who's played it. It's just like, well, I don't really see what we would gain from that. I don't see what the point in it being multiplayer would be, really.
From what I've heard is that you can play with your friends and say, oh, look, there's this thing over here. Let's both hang out on this perch and try and wait for the thing that we're trying to discover together. Or, oh, look, have you discovered this over here? No, I haven't. Let's go together. And maybe it's more of like a chatting game while you're discovering creatures.
Chat room,
yeah.
I guess. Yeah. I got to be clear, I loved this until the credits rolled, and I was just like, I was just done with it.
Anticipating it going somewhere, right? And when it doesn't, you kind of go, "Well, why did I do that?"
Is that it?
So I went in with different expectations. I think.
I said, okay, we'll get to your opinion in a minute. You just quieten down there, boy.
Your fucking turn.
Shut up.
You fucking the daddy's talking now, boy. I mean, this may be a bit of a dickhead thing to say, but when I went to download this, in the description, as you said, it said, feel the freedom of a flight. And for the first thing it says to me is, you can't go up or down. I was like, oh, that's not the free. I thought at least I would get that feeling of, like,
I guess, I mean,
but I think that works.
Freedom.
Yeah, I think that I didn't mind that because it reminded me, in like Shadow of the Colossus, everyone's like, oh, the horse is really annoying to control. And it's like, you're not the horse, you're the man holding the reins to the horse, right? And I got a similar thing from this. It's like, no, the bird knows how high it needs to be. You just direct it around. Like there would be no benefit to flying higher. There's those bits where there's like an air vent, and like you can sort of hover up on it and then dive down and go really fast. That's quite fun. But I don't know. At no point did I feel any need to fly up. Personally,
I just thought it might have added a little bit more to it. I don't know. I didn't last long. I did the tutorial area and just went, I'm getting absolutely nothing from this. This is doing absolutely nothing for me. So I just stopped playing.
That's a shame. Because I would have thought most people could get a good couple of hours out of this.
Yeah, I didn't.
Just looking at it and listening to it. Like I gotta say, like it is. I thought visually it's absolutely stunning. Like it's obviously very sort of low, like a lot of like untextured stuff, but it's all the lighting and the sort of composite, like the way this island's been built, the sun coming up, and so like really,
and like the fog, it looks really nice, and
I just think I expected. I just expected more puzzle wise, maybe. Like I love the idea of something like a multiplayer version of this, where you are having to like actively work together to track things and figure out together, like a sort of escape roomish sort of vibe. But it's nowhere close to that, and by design, right? I don't think it was ever supposed to be that. I think it's just it's it's one of those that's really frustrating because you're playing a game. I'm like, I am enjoying this, but it's making me imagine something that I think would be much cooler. Like, yeah.
I mean, that's a bit like what we had with Nobody Wants to Die, where it's like, actually, if this had a more extensive, like, detective sort of mode to this, or given some more freedom, this could have been maybe a bit more engaging than it was.
Got some genuine puzzles,
Yeah.
God, these are all games this week that had potential and didn't fulfill them. It's really... Matt, you may now offer your opinion on the game. Thank you for waiting.
Matt. Shite! No, I went in knowing what this game was, and I didn't really have any preconceived ideas. So, because I know I'll keep my ears to the ground, Sean, unlike you. So I knew it was like a cozy game or whatever. And after playing the the bleak, dirty streets of New York in the year 2339, this was like a welcome kind of change. And what was that amazing iOS game that I loved? I think you did too, David, of where you're like flying, you're like a little bird, and you're using kind of like the it's like a
momentum.
Using the momentum.
Tiny wings.
Tiny wings, yes.
Flappy Bird?
Like, not Flappy Bird, no. Tiny wings. I got some Tiny Wings vibes, just like going over. And I kind of wish it did maybe have a bit more of like momentum stuff. But no, after you'd said, you
Tiny
can't
Wings
fly
was
up.
a game where you literally control going up and down, and this is a game where you cannot control going up and down.
But the feeling of momentum, I said I wanted a bit more of that in this because I felt like there's some lovely like kind of rolling hills. You kind of want to like burst down and fly up in the air. Anyway.
Yeah, you want to sort of, as you're flying, you're trying to fit the sort of contour of the landscape, right?
That's kind of what. Oh shit! Because I was thinking of that. Was it Exo 1?
Yeah, Exo 1. That did that really well. I love that as well.
Yeah, I love that game. That was really cool. Sorry, Matt.
Yeah, so it doesn't really have that, but no, it's just like a really. I actually like the fact there's no friction whatsoever. Like you go around, you fly around, you're talking to people. It's like there is no challenge, and maybe I was just in the right frame of mind for this. I only played like an hour and a bit, so halfway through the game. But yeah, after playing that previous game, after playing the other games I was playing, it's just nice just to turn my brain off and just go around the lovely environment. Yeah, it looks gorgeous, as Sean said, like quite muted. Well, I mean, actually, I wouldn't say muted. Like at first, you think it's just pastel color, like color palette, but there are some much more vibrant colors as you go around the island. And yeah, it's just a gorgeous little game. Just it feels satisfying to play, and I've enjoyed what I played so far. But an hour and a half in, and maybe that'll change in 4 hours. I'm thinking, okay, there's actually nothing else pushing me on, but. Yeah, for what it was, I've really enjoyed it. I mean, I'm glad I got it on Game Pass.
Yeah.
Maybe if I'd paid 15, 20 quid or however much it is, maybe I'd have a different opinion on it. But I think for what it is, I've really enjoyed it so far.
I mean, fair enough. I think if you're in the mood for this game, obviously you'll take to it. It's a very like more than we would that we have. I think it is very much one of those games that you have to be in the mood for it, and maybe I just wasn't in the mood for it. Because when you're not in the mood for it, half the shit that it does just really irritates you. Like, what was it that really got me? It was the sing at this thing, and then it was, you scared it. I was like, fuck.
Yeah, that mechanic gets old. The way you tame creatures is so you press B near it or A, one of them, one of those buttons they have on the controller, and then it sort of puts you into this mode where you're sort of locked onto it, and then it's like. Basically, you have to sing at it, but when you're at like a certain distance from it, so you kind of like it's sort of flying around and you're sort of moving sort of in tandem with it and trying to find that.
It's like two open brackets, isn't it? And you align the two open brackets with two other brackets, and if you go too close, you spooked it, and if you go too far away, you still spook it.
Yeah, and it's
a little bit
fine.
like those missions where you're trying to follow someone, isn't it, Matt? In GTA that you hate so much, and I know you hate them.
It's a little bit different to GTA. GTA's last gen. Okay. I swear to fucking God, if they have that in GTA 6, we are done.
Why? Who cares if they have one of those missions?
Because I just want it. Okay, we can't get into this again. Can't let's update the mission structure.
Well, it's inevitable that's going to be in there. They always do.
Yeah,
but do you not think, James, it would be better if they maybe update that? I don't know.
Well, that's not the only mission in that game, Matt.
It's one of them.
Hey, I've noticed that they've been doing that in every game, guys. That's how much I know about video games. I'm Matt Murray. Also, those cracks in the wall. You notice that actually they're to hide loading.
Red barrels, am I right?
A yellow paint.
I haven't said this shit. What's wrong with you? Yeah, Flock.
And that was Flock.
Should I get mine done?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll do them in a different order than I've written them in the document, just to be awkward. Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora.
This was a game that we saw the trailer for and went, actually, this looks all right. And
Was
then it
this a
come out to
VR
really
game?
middling
No.
reviews.
No, not a VR game, and yeah, quite sort of. I mean, well, it was sort of high 70s or something, right? I think.
But the trouble is, this came out right at the end of the year, where some people are like, "Oh shit!" Like this came out really late December.
That's right, it did, didn't it? Yeah,
Yeah.
really late in December. But no, I did think it was quite middling. 7s and 6s, I think. Yeah.
Well, it's free to try at the moment. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what the terms are. You can download a trial on the Xbox. You can play it for presumably an amount of time or to a certain part in the story, whatever. And I'm not an Ubisoft guy for some moral and also just gameplay reasons. Tend to not get on with Ubisoft stuff.
It's a good guy.
Not an Avatar guy, really.
You see the sequel?
I haven't seen the sequel.
Oh, it's surprisingly good actually.
Is it?
Yeah.
Maybe I
Was it
should
alright?
at some point.
Do they bang with tails? Is that the...
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, they connect their hair, don't they? And then they.
Yeah.
Yeah, David, they connect with hair. Don't bang with tails.
Yeah, they've got neural hairs in their hair.
Episode title,
Can we call the show Bang with Tails?
No, because people
Everyone
get
think
the
it's a
wrong
Sonic
idea.
thing. Yeah.
Well, that's good. We'll get all the Sonic sickos in. Like your mate.
Will double overnight.
Yeah.
Have
you heard of this podcast?
Bang with tails and Sonic. There we go. We'll really get them in now.
Sonic comes. Okay, right. Next.
The fuck, Matt?
I mean, we don't actually know if he does because we never met him.
Good point.
No.
Yeah, that might
And
happen.
also he's a
If you
robot.
send David the book, we'll find out.
Someone would have to preload the robot every time.
Yeah.
That seems like a bit of a...
Okay, yeah. So they bang with tails, but yeah.
So what I didn't realize is that this is a Far Cry game, basically.
Oh, really?
And because Dave, you really liked, was it Far Cry Primal?
Yeah, man, that was underrated, that game.
Basically,
Alright.
as far as I
How
can
did
tell.
you know you didn't play it?
I saw screenshots. I got the gist of it. Right, no, because right. So there's a whole like intro bit where you're a Navi and you basically rescued / captured, who knows, by this group of humans that are like supposedly this sort of cultural exchange outreach program, but it's pretty clear that you were probably captured and you're being trained as like soldiers who are sympathetic to humanity, right?
It's the most Avatar thing I've ever heard.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
right, okay, yeah, we
Real
get it.
basic level.
Yeah, like, and
Yeah.
if you weren't entirely clear on who the baddies are, this one guy shoots your sister in the first 2 minutes. Like, right, baddie.
I definitely know now.
Got it. Let me write
But
this
that's
down.
that's also very Far Cry as well.
Well, yeah, true.
Do
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? Like stupid, revenge story from
And so there's this whole annoying bit. Everything goes to shit, and you escape from this facility. And then you get out, and fair play, it's probably the best looking game I've ever seen. Like
Yeah, it
the
does look really
world is actually stunning. And even if there was literally no game to this, I could probably get a couple of hours out of just wandering about. Like, because it's what I find interesting, because my problem with Avatar, the first film, was like it was fine, like I enjoyed it, but I felt like every 10 seconds I was like, man, I just wish I could fucking explore this place. Like the planet looks amazing, but I'm having to follow this boring story. And there were, and there was an Avatar game, but I think it was very much like it was like a pretty linear third-person shooter or something, right? Whereas this being more of a Far Cry type experience is like, yeah, off you go. Like, and there's a base and there's missions and there's bases you have to clear out by ticking off certain objectives, all the Ubisoft stuff. But you feel like you are working you get a choice. It's similar to Prince of Persia, where it's like, do you want a fully guided experience or do you want to get rough directions and explore. So you'll get like a mission briefing, and they'll be like, yeah, it's northwest of here. And you've got your map, and you're like, right, okay, well, I know where that is, and I know what northwest is. So, and you're left to figure it out. And from what I've played, it mostly works. Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it goes off the rails at some point. I don't know. But what I played, I thought was really enjoyable. I was quite surprised that the reviews were pretty lukewarm. Yeah, so I've played a bit of it for free. I probably won't buy it. Sorry, Eves. Yeah.
Interesting, yeah, because obviously it's the same people that are making Star Wars Outlaws as well.
Is it? Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, there you
God.
go. Well,
Is
we know.
Is it massive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's about 12 hours, isn't it? Sure.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
No, it's quite short. I think I just put up a full game video on YouTube to look at some gameplay footage, and it was 3 hours 50 minutes.
Oh wow!
What?
Okay. Oh, maybe
Well, the
that's
Avatar
part-
game is 3 hours 50 minutes.
Well,
No.
I'm sure
Shorter
it's
than the
not
films.
Actually, I'm not. Yeah, I'm sure
No
it's not
way.
actually that's the condensed version on easy mode, just to do the walkthrough video.
Right, okay.
But still, you mentioned Far Cry Primal, and one of the things I love about that game is you get an owl that you can send up and spot enemies up ahead, and you control the owl by doing something my granddad taught me. You know the one where you hold your hand and go.
Oh yeah.
I was like, yeah, not seen that in a game
do
before.
that, but I
got a lot of
can't
time
do it
for
now.
that. Can you not do it? Like...
No, absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I've just checked on how long to beat. Like main and sides is 41.5 hours.
Oh Jesus! Okay.
Yeah, main story 23.
Well, that's too long now.
What,
Yeah,
Avatar?
Yeah, it's an open world game. It won't be 3 hours long, will
That's
it?
what I would have thought.
Here,
Yeah.
it says Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. Skybreaker, full gameplay walkthrough, no commentary. It's 3 hours, 51 minutes long.
Well, it's heavily edited, isn't it? But yeah, main story
Yeah,
23
must be.
hours, main and sides 41, completion is 76.5.
That's got to be massively edited then. That's mad.
Mm.
All right. Okay.
Interesting.
Interesting.
So the other game I've played is Kunitsu-Gami, Path of the Goddess. Talked about the demo the other week. I have a really bad habit of playing things for 3 to 5 hours and be like, oh man, this is really good, and then wandering off and playing something else, and then saying, oh, I really must go back to that. I really enjoyed it. This came out on Friday. I finised it.
What?
Having put 24 hours into it.
Wow.
What the fuck?
Get a life.
Yeah,
I know.
loser. Touch grass, mate.
It was just based combination of
Stop being a fucking.
being a nerd and not getting enough sleep, and also New and Isaac had a day out planned with like some Isaac's friends and stuff on Sunday.
At the
So I was
full
like, right,
24 hours. You're like, I'm making the most of
Kunitsu-Gami
this.
time.
You could have played half of that Avatar game instead.
It's true, yeah. Or I could have finished it without doing any side stuff. So, quick recap, because this is a weird game, and I saw people in the Discord being like, "Yeah, what is it?" And I was like, "Well, I did talk about it the other week, but don't worry about it. It's fine."
First time I've heard of this.
People switch off. What did John Denton think of it?
I mean, the name doesn't help, right? If you're not
that's true.
not familiar with the language, like the fact that it's called Kunitsu-Gami is like, and I've seen people who really like it calling it other things because they're struggling with the title, but whatever.
Calling it what?
Just people calling it like Kamitsu-Gami or whatever, or Gamitsu-Gami, stuff like that.
Or Famitsu, or
Famitsu-Gami, that yes, I've heard that one as well. Yeah. This is the Capcom action strategy hybrid, where you are, you're this like soldier sword, like sword person.
Oh yeah,
sword person.
They're my favourites.
Best favorite kind of person.
Yeah.
And it's so it's sort of a strategy game, sort of a tower defense game, in that you've got this this mountain has been infested with evil spirits, and you're clearing it out bit by bit by walking this entire path all the way down this mountain. And you've got to guide and protect this priestess who is purifying it as she goes. And it goes through these day and night cycles. So during the day, you are preparing, you're like freeing these villagers that are covered in this fucking evil gunk. It's really disturbing. There's loads of like really sort of awful sort of body horror shit. Which is a shame because I'd really like Isaac to see this, but the monsters would definitely give him nightmares. So yeah, you sort of removing the sort of corruption from these people and bits of the environment and stuff, clearing the way, setting up defenses, and then you are assigning like classes to these villagers that you've freed, and then they're sort of your soldiers, and you're moving them around, you're setting up, ideally setting up like kill boxes, right, where the enemies are going to walk towards. And like as I said the other week, the enemies are really smart. They're not just, typically tower defense stuff is like, well, here's the path that all the enemies will follow. And that's kind of a given, right? There's no sort of intelligence there. Whereas with this, they will go different directions depending on the type of enemy it is, the type of attacks it has, the abilities it has. They will go different routes, and they will try and make use of the environment in ways if you've not sort of anticipated it. I think what really sort of elevates this is how like the setting and the aesthetics of it is like it's so heavily influenced by like Japanese theater and Japanese folklore. Like there's loads of like kabuki stuff, and they also did I've forgotten the word, but they've done there's this traditional Japanese form of like puppetry, and they've done this like 15-minute like puppet show, which is essentially like I say, there is a proper name for it that I've forgotten, which is like a prequel to the game. It's like part of the story, kind of. And like all the characters, like costumes and stuff, are just absolutely stunning. Like the main character looks incredible, and like it's the like it's so good because it's like a big like kabuki performance, right? So during the day, like I say, you're rescuing these villagers and stuff, and they're all shite scared, right? Like as it starts turning to night, the music starts ramping up, and it's this really tense, like horrible music, and like the sun's going down, it's getting dark, the monster's about to come out, it's going to be horrible, and they're all the villagers like cowering, and they're like shitting themselves, right? But then you give them a mask. This is like that's how you unlock new classes, by getting these masks, right? Which again is like it's a Japanese like folklore tradition thing that like wearing a mask sort of imbues you with the qualities of whatever the mask represents, right? It's why like kabuki performers like wear masks. And it's like, and instantly they go from like being this terrified village to like being like an archer, or someone like holding an axe or whatever. And this like fucking like this taiko music starts coming in, these like drums, and they all just start fucking dancing. And it's like these horrible, disgusting monsters are coming to kill them, and they're all just like fucking up for it. And it's just such a good feeling. Like you set this like plan up, and so like all your archers like fucking slapping the like bows and arrows and stuff, and like dancing around. It's absolutely sick. And the fact that like every mission, like initially you do like a few levels where it's like, okay, there's one where you're going down a straight path, and the enemies come from the other end, and then that's it. And then there's another one where it's like, well, sometimes the enemies come from the side, and then there'll be somewhere, there's different routes. But then like the ways it starts playing with it, like playing around with it's like every level it's not just an escalation. There will be a twist of some sort. There'll be like, there's a level where it's like, right, well, we've got to cross a lake. So we're going on we're on boats this time, and enemies are coming at us from the sea or the sky, or whatever. Or the one where it's like, well, you're going through a cave, and you've got to light these lanterns along the way, or else your villagers can't see where the enemies are coming from. Or like because you're playing it, and you're like I said the other week, like it's not sorry, I'm saying like loads. I'm aware of it today.
Don't just stop messaging us. We know we can't speak.
I said the other week that the melee combat was I was like, it's fine, but because it's like a strategy hybrid, the action stuff is maybe not as fleshed out as it could have been, but maybe that was that was an intentional decision. No, that gets way more complex, and there are levels where you enter the level, and it's like, oh fuck, there's no villagers. Like I'm not getting any help with this level. I need to set traps, and I need to figure out how I'm going to do this. And then equally, there are levels where during the day you get to do your prep, and then at night you're not there. Like your physical form is gone at nighttime, and all you can do is order people around. And again, you wouldn't do an entire game of either one, but it's just cool as one level where it's like, oh shit, they're right, okay, I've got to figure out how to like survive. It's
I gotta
fucking
say,
great.
I'm,
I love
I
it.
gotta say, I'm looking at gameplay footage. It's incredibly well animated.
Yes, the
Like it's
animation's stunning.
really
Like,
insane. Yeah, like like the enemies that you're fighting, they
mm,
stumble about, and
mhm.
it looks really good.
Like the main character as well, because again, because it's this sort of kabuki performance thing. It's like every movement is like a dance. Like all your attacks are like I'm sure as like if you're like if you actually know about melee combat, you'd be like, why the hell are they doing all these stupid motions and stuff? But it's all this like really sort of flamboyant, sort of over the top action. Like even when you get knocked down, you never actually land on the floor. Like you kind of like you flip backwards and then sort of land and like in like a cool way and then flip back up again. It's all so like over the top and
Chumbawamba.
so performative. But it's beautiful. Like it's absolutely stunning. And it's just such
Nice.
a weird, wild swing from Capcom. Like, there's a lot of like Okami-esque stuff in it. So a lot of people recognize because of the inspirations behind this game. A lot of people are like, oh, this seems quite Okami-ish, and I think it was because there was like they were doing like community targets with the demo, right? So it's like, oh, it's like we kill like 1 million enemies, we'll unlock this other stuff, and yeah, there's like an Okami costume you can unlock for like the main character and this sort of priestess that you're ferrying around. And they're again like they actually look really cool. They're not just like, oh, it's got like a wolf's head or whatever. Like it's like they're actually really sick costumes. Yeah, really just a really weird thing. I can't quite believe it exists. And it works, and it's just really wonderful, and
What you
just
playing
clearly
it
had a
on?
lot of love poured into it. Sorry, Dave.
What did you play it on?
On Xbox, on Game Pass.
Oh right, okay. Shit. Oh. Looks
Yeah,
cool.
fucking
Looks
loved
cool.
it.
So that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like visually, yeah, it looks stunning to me, and
Mhm.
something that I'd probably be into. But tower defense is not something I've ever really enjoyed.
Yeah, but
I would
it
still
does
give
look
it a
straight up
try.
tower defense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It looks more like a horde mode game than tower defense.
Mhm.
yeah.
Um,
It's really interesting as well. Like visually, most games, nighttime is usually quite boring visually, and day like it's like when the sun's sort of beaming down is when games tend to look more dramatic. Whereas this is like the complete opposite,
Mhm.
because like the daytime looks fairly straightforward, and then when nighttime happens, like it's like the lighting and all the colors suddenly seem like really striking, like all the monster designs and everything, and like the fact that again the theater thing, your character has this light around them, but it's clearly like a spotlight that's being shone from above, and it like
Right.
as you're running around, it like sort of lags slightly behind you as if some guy's
Oh,
actually
nice.
manning the light and it's so
Nice.
strange. I love it.
Okay, cool. Is that all you've been playing this week?
That is all I've
I
been
mean,
playing this week.
as if like you needed to play anything else. And there's only one more game left on the list. Do you want to cover that, James?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still playing Sonic Superstars, and I mean, I finished the main game, and I got all the Chaos Emeralds, and now I'm on to Trip Story, which is the new shitty friend that they added to it.
Right, what is Trip? What is Trip? Trip in Sonic.
I don't know
Is
what
it
it
two
is.
P's?
I don't know.
What it is.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What is it?
Yeah, but it's another hedgehog.
Trip
Isn't it?
the Sun Gazer.
Is it a hedgehog? I'm not sure.
I think so.
Yeah, it's definitely a hedgehog. Well, it looks the same as
Orange. Yeah, it
well,
looks the same as
same
Sonic.
eyes as Sonic.
They tried to make a sexy character again.
Oh, they do that all the
Are
time.
you saying Trip sexy, David?
I think hot.
Okay, good, it's good. Fine.
You all right?
But either way,
2024, mate. You do you.
Trip Story.
Hey, you do you, kid. Hey, you want to fancy someone for Sonic? You do you, kid. God,
What a
sorry.
fancy Trip the Sun Gazer.
Yeah, so
Not
Trip
as good,
Story.
Matt. Not as good.
No.
Trip Story is basically the game on hard mode. That's all you play through exactly the same game.
Dave's on
again.
hard mode right now.
That was better, Matt. That was better. But what's annoying about it is it has like enemies which are on like another, like they're on like another plane, so you can't actually attack them. So it's just like stuff shooting at you from the scenery, and you can't avoid them, and it's really irritating and annoying. But then also I've got to the final boss, and in fact the bosses in general, they like ratchet up the difficulty in Trip Story, And the final one I'm on at the moment, I still can't beat. I've spent ages trying to do it. This is harder than anything I've played. Like, it's harder than Cuphead. It's harder than like any of the Dark Souls 3 stuff that I've been playing recently. It's ridiculous. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. Mostly because the bosses, like the final boss, is in 2 stages, and it takes forever to like get to the second stage because you have to go. And so if you die, there's no checkpointing, there's nothing like that. You just have to do the whole thing all the way from the beginning again, and it has a whole bunch of like just insta kill deaths. You know, where it's just like make a slightly mistake, you're done. And you've got to start again, and you're like, oh, okay, that's another like 5-6 minutes gone. I'm gonna have to play through again, and it's annoying because I know I can do it. Like I know what I need to do. I just keep slightly messing up each time, and it's very annoying and very irritating.
What build have you gone for?
Just the straight attack. Yeah,
Just straight attack.
Yeah,
Okay.
just getting in there, doing as much damage as possible.
What summons are you working on?
Well, there's this one where like you duplicate your character and just loads of them.
Yeah, okay, exactly. Yeah, just loads of Sonics, just smashing shop. Okay,
kind of like that. Yeah, but it's. I mean, I wouldn't say that it's spoiled
the
the game for
purple
me.
boss with the yellow thing?
Maybe it's like a big purple
The yellow
robot
what?
thing.
the what? Yeah,
So
what?
then, yes.
Yeah. Well, no, because there's loads of bosses like that, David. Seriously, it's like ridiculous. But anyway, it's. I wouldn't say it's ruined the game for me because it hasn't. Because if you just played the Sonic bits and all that, you think, yeah, this is fine. But it's taken the shine off a bit. I mean, it's knocked the game down a bit, for me because it's just
From a 10 to a 9.5?
yeah, basically, yeah. It's gone for that. I mean, yeah, it's a bit of a shame. And I mean, I was looking it up, and loads of people are complaining about it. And it's like, what's annoying is that it feels. I saw one theory as to why the bosses are so annoying in this game, which is that because this was apparently built around like co-op, like that was how you're supposed to play this. It's designed so that when you fight the bosses, it's supposed to be multiple people attacking at the same time. But it doesn't seem that they've like rebalanced them for if you're playing on your own. So it just takes forever. And it just loads and loads of hits, and
That sounds like absolute bullshit.
just a bit annoying.
That sounds like bullshit. People made up on 9 because they're struggling with the game. So, yeah, it probably has some balance, and I think actually it's probably meant to be co-op, and it isn't. So actually, in a way, it's not me; it's the game.
Well, I'm holding on to that, Matt, as being the
Absolute
truth.
bullshit.
It's the truth. I'd like to see you stream this.
Oh no, I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
Maybe you
I'd like
should.
to see Matt stream anything at this
Yeah, yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
Just for the record, I've just looked at all the bosses in the game. There's not another purple one. Anything else to
who
say
gives
about
a
Sonic
fuck? Come on.
Superstars?
They're all like that, David.
You don't understand, David.
Yeah.
There's loads of them. that are
There's loads of
purple.
bosses. I don't know what the colours are. I don't care.
He's colorblind.
You done?
Yeah, I'm done. I don't know if I'm going to finish it or not. I mean,
James, come on.
Anyone
This
cares?
isn't the James I know and love. Of course you can.
I mean, maybe I'll stream it, like me just repeatedly doing it over
Yes.
and over again.
Yeah, do that.
I'll watch that.
It's
I'll watch that. I mean, I bet you would, David. Yeah. Sicko.
That's what we've been playing this week. Let's get to questions.
If you want to send us a question, do you know what? I'll allow it. Go to tcgs.co/dear TCGS and you just type some stuff in and then it sends it on the internet to us.
You sound like a salesman then. You want to ask a question? Then come on down.
Maria Mendieta says, Dear TCGS complimentary mints, in honor of James falling madly in love with Sonic once again, I recently bought Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble to experience the spin dash in 3D. As I fell to my death over and over again, my mind wondered about life in that translucent ball that Ai calls home. What do you believe is the quality of life for a monkey or human within a gachapon ball compared to a Pokeball? Keep up the outstanding work. Sincerely, Maria.
I was under the
it's gotta be better.
impression then the Pokemans,
Yeah.
don't they shrink and it's like really big in that Pokeball to
Yeah,
them?
that's what I'd have
Yeah,
thought,
there is an episode, isn't there, where they show you the inside of a Pokeball. I can't remember what it's like, though. I'm pretty sure it's nice. Like it's
It's like gunk.
Oh,
It's just like brown gunk.
just like a
Oh.
freezer.
that sounds horrendous.
I mean,
Inside
the
of
balls
a
from-
Pokeball.
The balls from some Super Monkey Ball will be all right because it's kind of translucent anyway.
Yeah,
so
you can see the
out.
world, can't you? Yeah.
Yeah,
You
You're
can't touch it.
but maybe that's
You're
worse.
just
yeah.
trapped. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'd rather at least see something
Can they even
than...
breathe in there?
You've got to assume you can. There's probably little holes
I
at the
don't know,
top.
man.
Yeah,
I don't
looking
know.
at it, it looks like the inside of a like the Pokemon's shrink.
Right.
What's it
but-
like
but
on the
you-
inside, though?
yeah.
Is it nice?
Yeah.
Alright,
Okay,
good.
cool. Sweet. Yeah. Well, describe it. What... Is it nice? Yeah.
That was like a mix between not knowing the answer and just not wanting to answer the question.
I can't bother to explain how nice it is in there, frankly. But trust me, it is nice.
Yeah.
Oh god,
It's
who
quite
gives a
late.
shit? Oh god,
Yeah.
honestly. I
It's
remember
got
when
with-
there was that big drive to get people to not like Pokemon because they said it was animal cruelty, and you just want to go, mate.
Really? Did that happen? I don't remember
Yeah,
that.
of course, it's fucking.
It's about 10 years ago,
PETA or
wasn't
whatever,
it?
yeah.
Everyone was saying it on Twitter. Look, I think of things differently to you. Oh, do ya? Well done. How would you block on this thing?
Watch
on
the
this
show, you'll realise that Ash is friends with all his Pokemon, and that's why they're better at fighting. So,
They got an unbreakable bond.
yeah.
I mean,
But then there's that one guy who has the sand shrews, like an S&M guy. You has that like your sand shrew
No.
wears this like harness that makes it stronger. Very strange, and he's very cruel.
I
to
did,
his,
I did like kind of the one thing that I liked about that is that I didn't agree that it was promoting animal cruelty, right? Because they're monsters in a fictional universe.
They're called monsters by humans.
Yeah, they don't know.
I did quite like the fact that it was pissing off Pokemon fans. They would go, no, it's no. That whole debate was a good one.
Well, I've just
turns out
googled
it's
it,
quite
and
nice
the
in there.
Pokemon Sun and Moon producer, I'm not going to pronounce their name, explained in an interview what it felt like the inside of a Pokeball's like. I think it's safe to say I think it's very comfortable inside of a Pokeball.
Clammy.
It's a very comfortable
hot.
environment, maybe the equivalent of a high-end suite room in a fancy hotel. And for that reason, I'm changing my mind, and I think Pokeballs will be better.
The thing is, though, even a fancy
Monkey
suite
balls.
room in a hotel is less fun if you are trapped in it against
Against
your own
the
will.
on
yeah, but I'd
your
rather
own,
be in
yeah.
that than like a
glass
transparent ball.
Yeah, but they can see it. They can see out of it.
Yeah, but I'll be in a fancy hotel with like a jacuzzi and a minibar.
Can you
won't
invite
see
other people
sunlight.
in?
Even without that, it could be a nice
You
bed,
can't get-
TV.
You can't get two Pokemans in a ball.
No,
Can you
you
not?
really can't.
Also, in Monkey Ball, they happy. They dance, don't they? At the end of the
They
thing,
do, and also they can break out of those balls as well.
They can. They
Yeah.
have been out of those balls,
What about monkey
but they
flight?
also do
them balls.
hurtle to their deaths over
Yeah.
and over and over again.
I
because
think
you-
the
you put the
Pokeball
stick in
sounds
the right
better.
place.
Let's go with Pokeballs.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
Pokemon.
A
suspicious
high-end
about
suite
what's-
room in a fancy hotel. Hello, it'd be
I'm
massive.
suspicious about what's really going on in those balls. Like, I bet that's not the case.
What
Too
is
long
going
the
on in
episode
those
title.
balls?
That's what the scientists said about you, James. Like,
Yeah.
Okay, come on, let's move on.
Last-
The scientists.
Last question.
Scientist.
The last
Fucking
question
Stranger Things over here.
comes from MD Kraboffs. He says, "What's more distressing, mess or smell?"
Smell.
Mess.
Smell.
No
Smell.
mess.
When we say
No.
mess, are we talking like
I
like
Shit
excrement?
everywhere
or-
annoys me. No,
or-
like stuff everywhere annoys me. Mess
Yeah.
annoys me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not as bad as smell.
No,
Bad smell,
smell you-
absolutely kills me.
You remember smell as well. Do you know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
like you're never gonna forget that.
Because a,
One
a
of my
bad
least favourite
smell is
smells
like
is that musty flannel smell. Makes
Yeah.
me feel sick the moment
Yeah.
I can smell it
Mhm.
walking up the stairs of my flat. And I'm like, right, when I get in, I'm getting every like flannel and just washing it for an
Damn.
hour.
Damp, like the
But no-
damp smell of damp
Yeah.
mold.
like,
or
but
whatever.
there's no determination whether this is good or bad. Like, it's mess or smell. Now, there can be good smells and bad smells, sure, but mess is just annoying anyway. Like, I just hate it and I feel uncomfortable. Whereas a smell can come and go. Could be a nice smell, could be a bad smell. So for me, mess is the answer. Mess just
Yeah, I
makes
don't
you
think
feel
they're saying
rubbish.
What's better?
Well, no, what's more distressing?
Mess
Well,
or
a mess
nice
is
smell?
more distressing for me than a smell. A
I don't
smell
think it
can
means
come
the
and go.
concept of smell. I think it just
No,
means
but a
bad
smell can come and go.
It's like,
Mess.
Everyone's got a mate like that. Would you rather? Run off a cliff as fast as you can, or watch a week's worth of Friends back to back? Well, the Friends
Cliff.
one,
Cliff.
easy. It doesn't
Not
work.
even close. I don't
Cliff
like
for me.
Friends, but clearly
it's
that's
not-
better than a
it's-
horrible death.
Doesn't work. Stop shouting Cliff over and over again, Matt. It wasn't funny the first time. It's not going to be funny the second
Cliff.
time.
That's the second time we've used Cliff as a punchline in this very show. Didn't work the first time either. Yeah,
Cool.
mess for me. It's got to be mess.
All right. Smell for
Yeah, it's
me.
got to be mess. It's got to be mess. James, smell.
There's some breaking news.
Oh my God! Here we go, boys. Okay,
Go on.
right. Okay, how
We'll
excited
switch.
out of 10 do we get, James?
Not terribly excited.
Okay, right.
What
Okay, everyone guess. Right. Okay,
No,
what
no,
am I
'cause
thinking?
it's connected with what we've been talking about. I mean, this was
Sega
noted-
releasing a new hardware.
How'd you guess?
Trump
s-
says that he doesn't like mess.
Yeah, Trump is smelly.
smells.
What?
James
First
has bought a
smells.
Pokeball to live in.
It's actually not a high-end suite. It's actually a Premier Inn. What,
Anyway,
James?
Still play
this was noticed by Ryan in the chat, and basically Xbox is apparently exploring
this?
more new Game Pass tiers.
You
There's gonna
put
be-
this in the chat about an hour ago.
I know, but I've been waiting for the
This
right
isn't
moment.
breaking news. James,
It
don't mug us
broke
off
an
like
hour
this.
ago and we
Stale.
chose to ignore it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, anyway,
James.
it's what I there's some other stuff. So like a
Go on.
clouds option only.
There's some other
Game
stuff.
Pass.
There's some other stuff.
All right, forget it. Do the socials, whatever.
And on that bombshell,
Right, never say there's breaking news ever again, James.
What if there really
Matt.
is breaking news?
Or if it's better than that, I'll
Don't
allow
believe you,
it.
boy who cried wolf, mate.
Yeah, we've had that. How many times now?
stop. This has gone on for too long. Matt, socials.
Mess is better. We stream on Twitch every now and then. Go to
it's
twitch.tv.
worse,
So
Mess is
what the
worse.
fuck are you
Have you
saying
said
now,
Star Wars
James?
Well, you
more
said mess was
distressing.
worse.
Yeah,
It wasn't. The question wasn't what was better, mess or smell.
it's what was more distressing.
More
Matt.
Yeah.
distressing. Or do you like distress?
What do you
Yeah.
mean? Yeah. Don't just say yeah. You just said the opposite.
Oh, me? Well, I think mess is more distressing. Let's move on.
Right. Okay.
Fucking hell. Okay, we're on Twitch right now, actually. But we also stream in the week. So twitch.tv/TCGSCO if you want to watch our streams live and be notified when we go live in the week. If you miss our streams live, go over to YouTube and search TCGS and you'll see the VODs of the old streams over there. But if you watch Twitch and you're on an Amazon account, connect your accounts, you've got something called Twitch Prime Gaming. We get one free sub every single month. We have to give it to someone. Why not give it to us? We really appreciate everyone who does that or people to pay out of their own pocket to support us on this Twitch channel. It's great, isn't it? Oh my God, I've lost it. Patreon.com/TCGS if you want to support what we do as well by getting exclusive monthly podcasts, talks over video shows, or being a full else, or whatever you want to give, we'll be thankful for. And the website is tcgs.co for links to our amazing Discord community, store, socials, podcasts, and other little bits.
Thank you so much for living it this week. We will catch you next week where we hopefully have our brains back a little bit because I don't know.
Yeah,
what's
was this a
happened.
weird one? I'm not-
Boring.
wasn't
Yeah.
Boring.
sure. Okay.
Don't want
Normally
my
that
brain back.
happens when there's no games to talk about. There's fucking loads.
Maybe that's what's happened.
Yeah, that's too many.
Too
games.
many games, baby.
Get it right, games industry. It's either no games or too many.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sort it
come on.
out.
Space them out, baby.
Think about it. Be bored.
Okay. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Thanks for living it. Goodbye.
Yeah,
See
thanks.
ya.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye.
See ya.
Right.